All right. Whew. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We got another Thursday night live stream tonight. Very, very excited about this evening. Some great bottles to drink. I know we're a little bit later than normal, starting at 10 p.m. instead of 8 p.m., but I just got back from a gig, and I just changed out of a very, I don't know if it's an embarrassing outfit, but not an outfit that I wanted to put online. So had to put on a t-shirt, and sorry that I'm running a few minutes late here. I thought I would be back a little earlier, but traffic getting out of the gig was kind of crazy. So I do apologize for that. But we do have a live stream to get to. As Paul Graham says, let's get this party started. I agree, Paul. Hey, guys, I know it's like really annoying when YouTubers, whiskey tubers say, hey, how do I sound? How do I look? But I am trying to get this this new setup dialed in, so please let me know if I do sound okay. Should be coming through this mic right here in my face. A new microphone for those of you who are not here Tuesday for the Tuesday Taste Along. Got this new thing. I'm going to throw some background music on in just a second. Get a little ambiance, you know, for the live stream this evening. But I just want to make sure everything looks and sounds okay on your end. But let me say hello to some people in the chat. Guys, some exciting stuff tonight. We do have a giveaway. I'm going to be tracking for the giveaway because it's a later stream. I didn't know if any of my, if Amy or Marty or I don't know who is going to be here. This was kind of a last-minute late stream. So I will track the giveaways, but I do have a really nice, easy system to do that with now because Amy was kind enough to send me her setup here on this Excel spreadsheet, which is just amazing. So thank you, Amy, if you're here. I don't know if you're here. Guys, as I normally do, starting off the evening with an Eagle Rare store pick. And, by the way, I got my very first 1.75, and I didn't realize just how unbelievably large these bottles are. So I don't know when I'm going to crack into this one. Probably wait on this until all my other store picks are gone. I have 3 open, about half full. But I yearn for the day when I can start a live stream with that 1.75 Eagle Rare. Get a fat pour. It's like a baseball bat. All right. So I'm going to say cheers to you guys. Let me know what you're sipping on. I know I'm behind in the chat. I'm going to say hello to you guys in just a second. Let me know what you're sipping on. Have a sip with me. I know you guys are probably going between channels tonight. Clifton's probably on right now. The likes are probably on right now. So if you are going to spend even some time with me this evening, I want to say thank you so much for that. Kilco, cheers to you. I should have taken some heartburn meds before this. Trevor, what is up, man? And yeah, I'm glad to be live here as well. Regs Lugo says, I have to pack it in, but have a great stream. Thank you. Audio Junkies in the house, man, and your package should be there any day. Guys, all of the packages, I think I shipped like 15 or 20 boxes on Monday. So everybody from the last couple of weeks, or I guess maybe almost 2 months, I've apologized to all of them individually for being so behind on giveaway shipments. Everything's out. Everything has been shipped out except one to Scott Tilton because I don't have his address. So I'm trying to get a hold of Scott to give him his bottle, a Cedar Ridge pick by Fred Minnick. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. Kilco doesn't know what to pour. Pour something good. It's a Thursday night. I'm just starting to treat Thursdays like Fridays at this point. Jake McKee, good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out. Devin Patel, is this where all the cool kids hang? I don't know about cool, but that's not for me to decide. I can decide that you guys are cool. I don't know about me. I just played an evening of triangle and snare drum, so you decide if that's cool. Devin was drinking some piggyback, but going to switch to MGP with a little pine note. Yeah, that's a note that'll wake you up, you know? And I kind of need to wake up right now. The Eagle Rare, this is going to put me to sleep. It's too easy. Crazy Kitty, good evening. Good to see you. Paul Graham, good to see you, man. Sam Houston, 15, a $129 pickup for Paul Graham. Great price. Ridiculously good bottle. And, yeah, Jake's getting his Calumet 16 tomorrow from the giveaway like 5 weeks ago. Sorry, Jake. Whenever that was, man. I'm going to skip ahead in the chat just a bit. And I'm going to skip ahead to this. Paul, holy crap, man. Guys, Paul Graham doesn't even know what he does know what he's entering for. It's that sample pack on the thumbnail. Holy crap, Paul Graham. Dude, thank you. $100 super chat. That is over the top generous, and Paul, I appreciate it so much. Good Lord, man. Oh my goodness. Joe's I'm gonna come back to you, Paul, but Joe, look at you, Cam, putting that mouse that pauses the stream in the closet. No, man, I'm using it. She's right here, but the trackpad's out too. I use both. I double it up whenever I can. Also, Paul, thank you again, man. That's so amazing, and I think your box should be there tomorrow. Paul, there were 9 bottles in that box, and I think 40 samples, 30 samples, something ridiculous in that box for you. So enjoy, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Daniel. $100 is quite the way to start the evening. All right, guys, I'm gonna skip ahead. Gonna get into the Frey. Yeah, do that. You know what? Let me pour a little Frey with you. Let me pour it. I'd like to have another sip of that. And we have plenty of whiskey to get to tonight, but it wouldn't hurt to have a little Frey with you. Looking forward to that rare here. Give it a try and keep an open mind. Explore that thing, but it is Dickel. Give it some air. That's what I say. Oh, packages in Stockton. Nice. Yeah, 4 streams still running. 21090 coming in with this bit of info. The final release in the Maryland Heritage Rye series tomorrow is Sherbrooke. It's dropping on Sealbox. I've literally set aside a block of time to sit here and refresh because I have to have that bottle. I've got the other 2. I don't tater after stuff very often, but these 3 releases and the 3 blends they did with the Maryland Heritage series, to me, it was perfect. Perfect marketing, like perfect drop schedule. The frequency has been great. It's a lot of money to spend. They give you a few weeks between. It seems maybe 2 or 3 weeks between the releases. And yeah, I just think it was a smart business move on their end. It was going to sell out regardless at 14 years for an MGP rye, but I love the way that they did it. It created hype, but it's not overhyped. At least I don't think. They could have went more over the top, I do believe. Crazy Kitty 83 says your show is so fascinating. Thank you. I don't know if fascinating is good or bad, but I'll take it. I'll take it, Crazy Kitty. Thank you so much. And I'm going to get you into the giveaway. So let's talk about that real quick. Before I go any further, let's talk about the giveaway for tonight, which I am tracking. So tonight, what I'm going to be tasting, I'll show you guys the table, get these off the screen. What we're going to be tasting tonight is, first and foremost, I want to do a French oak comparison. I do want to get to this Dusty, but I want to wait for the Dusty, okay? We won't wait till the end. I promise we won't wait that long. The first thing we're going to do is a French oak finish comparison. So I have, new to me as of this week, the Lucky Seven Frenchman. And then I've had this for a while, but I clearly have only maybe taken a sip of the Penelope Architect. 104 proof on the Architect, 113, so a decent proof difference. But I'm really curious to explore the effects of French oak secondary barrel aging on bourbon. I don't have my Davis County French oak finish anymore, or I would put that in the mix as well. Either way, I think these are 2 hot bottles right now, and I'm curious to see if I like them, how they taste, and especially how the French oak has influenced these different whiskeys. I mean, they're different base whiskeys entirely, Kentucky and Indiana. So everything with a grain of salt on those, but I think it's going to be cool. So that's what we're doing first. Then we're going to move into this Dusty. All right, Old Charter 7. We'll crack this on the stream. It's a 200 milliliter bottle that I just picked up at a reasonable price. After that, tackle this Frey Ranch, which Paul Graham, again, the most amazing supporter of the channel, $100 super chat hanging out right now, which is crazy. Paul sent me this some time ago, maybe even a year plus ago. It's gotten a lot of air in the bottle, and people right now are hot on these single barrels. It was only a matter of time before they came for the Frey Ranch, and here they are moving on secondary. So I'm going to revisit this thing. Finally, we'll close the stream by tackling just some random bottles. I have 2 here on the table, E.J. Curley Single Barrel, and also Brendan Schaub's Tiger Thick Celebrity Whiskey. I know, say no more. And then if there's any more time left, I have many other things from distilleries. I have some Broken Barrel bottles, particularly the rye that I'd like to get into. So that's the plan for tonight. And then the giveaway for the evening is going to be a sample of everything I taste tonight, including this. All right, so whoever wins the giveaway is going to be able to taste this 1980s Old Charter 7-year. It's bottled to 86 proof. All right, plus all the other things I mentioned. Plus, I'll throw in 2 really banging samples for you. So, to make up for the Tiger Thick. If you don't know about this whiskey, you're probably better for it. All right. Yeah, Paul, I'm excited for you to get everything, man. Chris Stevens says, how about the Penelope Tokai cask finish? I don't have it yet. I don't know. I heard a rumor that Ohio's going to get Penelope distribution. Any Ohioans in here can let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. If it's in the state, I'm going to buy it, but I don't think it is. I would like to get one. If anybody has a hookup and I'm not taking away your bottle or your backup and your experience with hand deliveries, let me know. I would love to get my hands on one of those, whether the batched or I think there are some store picks going around too. Crazy Kitty says that they love finding interesting information about different bourbons. Yeah. I like finding that out too, and I don't know how much information you'll find out tonight, but you will find out a lot of opinions. Facts, opinions, I don't know. The Rare Hair is not Kentucky bourbon, Stanley. This has been confirmed now. So I'm going to have a video coming out about that. Some emails were exchanged. Some retractions seemingly were made, but it is a Tennessee whiskey. And it doesn't seem like it was nefarious necessarily, but it was less than transparent, the whole thing. And there was clearly a mistake on the end of Playboy Spirits with the press release that went out to people. At one point claiming that it's from Kentucky, but there is absolutely not a shot in hell that it is from Kentucky. I have to say that. I think 3 p.m. is the Sherbrooke release. I think. Sugar Kitty's talking about the Sherbrooke, some notes here. I don't even know what that word is. Caraway? I feel illiterate. Coming in with the awesome words. Let me look this up. What is this? Caraway. What is it made of? Oh, heavy gauge aluminum. Oh, it's like cooking stuff. Whoa, interesting. Sorry, guys, I'm way behind. I'm gonna taste whiskey. I promise. I promise. Thank you, JG, for the super chat. 877 mash now. Appreciate it. You are in for the giveaway. 1 entry. And thank you for the support, Jay. And thank you for always hanging out and being awesome. We got Kilco jumping in here with the super chat. Let me get that down. My shot in the dark. Feel free to send me the 1.75 Eagle Rare if you find another. I got mine secondary, but at a good price for a store pick. So, Caraway is dill seed. Oh, interesting. What was I looking up then? Jeez. Some sort of at-home cooking collection? I don't know. That's what Google's telling me. Oh, this is interesting. Pure Mustard coming in talking about the Broken Barrel with peach brandy staves. I would actually like to try that. I've got to be honest. Oh, Sherbrooke's at 2 p.m. Well, I guess maybe that depends on your time zone also. Yeah, I do need to get some. Cheers. My face is going to start turning red. It's hot in this room. Okay. Oh, background music. Guys, let's get a little playlist going. Do you want... I have 2 lo-fi mixes. I have a jazz mix, and then I have a weird one. This drum album that I found on Epidemic Sound. So what do you guys want? Lo-fi 1, lo-fi 2, jazz, or the drum album mix? I'll change it throughout the live stream, but what do you guys want to start with? Thank you all for being here. Thanks for the super chats. Hit that like button, please, if you are jumping in here. It'll really, really help the channel, of course. And subscribe. If you enjoy the live stream or any of my content, please do consider subscribing. I hate the plugs, but got to do it. Especially hitting that like button. Very important. You guys want a little jazz? Let's do some jazz. This is a smoother jazz playlist. You guys let me know if the balance is okay. There'll be a slight glitch probably when I bring this mix in. All right. should be jumping in there now on the jazz. Also, another housekeeping item. I apologize. We will get to the whiskey. If my stream starts to break up at all, whether it's a little skip or like I go massively fuzzy, please let me know. I just upgraded my internet connection here because Tuesday's stream seemed to have a lot of issues that I'm uncertain of why they happened. So I'm upgrading the internet. It's not upgraded yet. I need to install the new router and modem. But please let me know if anything goes wrong. Mike Snook with a $20 super chat. First time on your live. Great channel. Thank you for the content. And thank you for the super chat, Mike. I really appreciate the support. Of course, entering into the giveaway. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're hanging out, enjoying the content. There's more on the way. It's been 2 weeks since I've posted. And I got to get some more stuff out there. And I promise it's coming, guys. Just a little bit of a busy time there. But, yeah, no more gigs for 3 weeks. I do start another college teaching job in 2 weeks. So I'm going to be teaching in my alma mater, just very little. But I'm excited to be teaching again. Good things on the horizon. Good things on the horizon. So let's drink a little French oak finished bourbon to get things started here. I will get to your super chats in just a second, but I want to get these poured out. All right, so Frenchman over here. We get the Penelope poured. All right. Let's do this. How's the jazz, guys? How is the balance, by the way, with my voice? Let me know. Let me know what you think. So, there's a few more super chats to get to. Tom Snyder, what's up, man? Thanks for jumping in. Get you entered in here. What does Tom say? Cheers all, drinking rare character barrel pick. Who picked the barrel, Tom? I have not had any of the rare character stuff yet. I've been a little hesitant because it's more sourced MGP, but people seem to really enjoy what they're doing. And the artwork that you can put on the front, I believe you can do custom artwork on those bottles. That's pretty freaking cool. I dig the collaborative, like artistic spirit of stuff like that. I think it's like the rabbit hole artists that they're I think commissioning to do pieces on the front of their single barrel bottles. Like that is really cool to me. I dig it. Crazy Kitty wants to get another bottle of Bardstown Bourbon collaborative series of Plantation Rum. I am not a big rum finish person, so I would pass on that. But to those of you who like rum finish stuff, I'm sure that's a great bottle. I'm sure it is. Daniel, thanks, man. Thanks for the super chat. 90s hip hop, first sip, and I'm enjoying for Cullen. Oh, shit, for Cullen. I meant to pour that. Dude, you can... My ADHD is kicking in, huh? I apologize. I'll try to get to it. I'm in it now. With the French oak. Thank you, Saucy Shane. Cheers to you, man. Good balance. DeVry is lucky to have you. Thanks. The Mash and Journey pick, says Tom Snyder. Awesome. And yeah, it looks like the audio balance is great. No, I'm not going to go do my doctorate. I did my master's. I don't want to be a full-time college teacher, and that's the only reason to get your doctorate in my field, so I'm not doing it. What is up, Marty? Dude, it's a party now that you're here. You crazy mofo. What's up, dude? Oh, Brian's in the house. It's going to go sideways quick now. All right, Penelope, this is Build 1. This is the first release of the Architect, and then I'll check out that Lucky 7. It's so easy to get distracted by the chat. I love it, though. It's more fun to just hang out. You don't even need to drink whiskey. Actually, you should drink a lot of whiskey. Moderately. Yeah, so, light white cake, vanilla, powdered sugar, kind of classic young MGP bourbon notes jumping out of the glass first and foremost with a decent dose of ethanol too. I'll just remind you guys, this is 104 proof. All right, a little bit like deeper in the glass, it's starting to get a little bit like sour and like sour apricot, kind of like not super light fruit, not apple territory, not anything like lemon, not necessarily like that, but there's almost like a sour peach kind of note going on in this architect. Oh, we're getting saucy, Marty. I'm going to get sauced up because usually I have gigs Friday, Saturday. This week, all I had was my gig tonight. So this is Friday for me. We played waltzes. I was playing with the chamber orchestra tonight. We were playing like waltzes and Hungarian dances in this conservatory, like this park. Beautiful park, flowers, just incredible nature, you know, on this kind of stage that they set up for this orchestra. Beautiful scene. Very like 18th century, you know. Lots of Mozart going on, but anyways, like it was a really cool night of music tonight. So yeah, I've got to admit, guys, like maybe something's going on with my nose. Let me go to the Lucky Seven Frenchman quickly, because the Penelope is like, I'm not getting that much off the nose, to be honest with you. I've been on like kind of a low streak, or like things have not been going well for me and my relationship with Penelope Bourbon on a lot of their bottles. Like some of them I still really love, but like I don't know, it feels like everything is a little young, a little too ethanol forward recently. Like even some of the private blends to me have been kind of off, and I don't know if it's just me being picky and my palate kind of changing or adapting to something else, or if I'm on the money with that. I don't know yet. Let me go to the Frenchman real quick. I'm going to jump back and forth on the nose. Yeah, much more flavorful coming off the Frenchman. Certainly a darker whiskey. This is like kind of like fiery cherry, like cinnamon cherry notes, burnt orange. Very much something about this that feels like you've torched it. If that makes any sense. Like a lot of fruit, a lot of kind of this torched element, not in a bitter char way. Like it just feels fiery. I don't know how else to describe it. But also kind of a nice like a coffee, dark chocolate kind of thing going on in here. There's also something a little pungent on the Frenchman. Yeah, something about French oak to me, I think I remember this from the Davis County French oak finish. There's almost like a pungent note that happens, kind of funky, kind of off. It relates more to like fruitiness than it does necessarily like burnt barrel char or anything like that. So when I say pungent, I mean like weird fruit, like weirdly stewed fruit notes. And I get a little bit of that off of the Frenchman, and it's got to be the French oak. Sorry, guys, I'm a little behind on the chat. Let me check it out. Just a reminder, also, please hit the like button. We got 60 in here now, which is an awesome number. Let's continue to grow that. Best way to do it is if you guys hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream. Also, reminder that the giveaway is going to be a 1-ounce sample of everything I taste tonight, including this 1980s Old Charter 7-year Dusty. All right? So 1 ounce of all of that, and then I'll throw in like two more samples of some really banging bottles from my collection. Something along the lines of like a cigar blend or like a Coy Hill, that kind of a caliber of a bottle. So that's what we're doing. Robotic. No, we're doing the Frenchman and the Penelope right now, and then we're going to get to the Dusty next. All right, so now when I come back to the Penelope after the Frenchman, I can start to get a little more out of the glass. It is, oh man, what is that note? It's really turning, like both of these now, I'm starting to get that funky overstewed fruit note. I've talked about this note ad nauseum, it feels like, but the most recent time I talked about it, I can't remember. I remember referencing something, which is, okay, I'm just talking in circles now. Balcones lineage, which is not a bourbon. That has this funky overstewed fruit note in it. That is what I'm getting on both of these French oak finishes. In different ways. The Frenchman is a little of a darker version of that, and the Penelope is a little bit of a lighter version. But funky overstewed fruit is the best way I can describe it, and it's a little pungent, a little sour. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a big French oak fan. Like, the more I dig into these right now, I'm like, I don't know. On the surface, it seems okay. The more I dig in and I nerd out about it, I start to get weird notes on these that, I don't know. Wow. That Penelope Architect. I mean, maybe I just haven't had enough whiskey tonight. That thing drinks over 104 proof. I do believe. Wow. Joe says it's called COVID. Yeah, who knows, man? I don't know. Although when I had COVID, it was like that feeling of when you lose your smell and taste is so noticeable. Like, at first, the first couple of days of COVID, I didn't realize I had it because I just thought I was getting sick with something else. It felt like a normal sickness, and then it was just boom. And I remember breathing in, and the sensation you have when you breathe in through your nose, probably preaching to the choir here, it's just like cold air. That's the only thing you get in your nose. There's no smells. I mean, what a crazy sensation. Paul Graham says Lucky Seven is a shockingly great whiskey. Yes, and I sent Paul a 14-year pick from that. Ridiculous stuff, man. My mom says, $5 super chat, Penelope in honor of your Aunt Penny. Wait a second. Is her name Penelope, Mom? What? Is that her? Is Penny's full name Penelope? Because if that is the case, the last 28 years I have been living in the dark. Wow. Audio Junkie says, it's getting familial in here, y'all. Audio Junkie says, going casual on the dram tonight, Old Forester 1910. Dude, the new bottles of that, the new label 1910, is awesome. It's even better than the old stuff. And it's pretty darn close to the 1910 Extra Old. It's not as funky, not as dark, but the new 1910s are awesome. And I see Amy is hanging out. Amy, thank you for jumping in here. So good to see you. All right. So, yeah, Penelope on the back of this, they have this interesting kind of diagram, right, to describe or kind of visually showcase the flavor profile. And this one is persistency as a category. That's like the silliest category I've ever heard of. Persistency. Just call it long finish. Persistency. It's whiskey, not a freaking essay. Okay. Oak perception on nose. Everything's pretty average on here. Toasted is low. But oak integration and persistency are high. And then fruit on the nose. Is it a 3 out of 4? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much I dig that graph on the back. To me, there is nothing darker in this whiskey than like this weird stewed fruit note. There's no rich caramel. There's no chocolate. I'm not getting really any oak. It's completely bright. It's like regular Penelope, very bright, ethanol forward, light fruit that's just gone a little bit funky and sour, like you left it out in the sun too long or something. I don't know that I'm a big fan of this, to be honest. And I don't know what the general consensus has been from other people. Let me know in the chat if you guys have tried this Penelope Build 1 of the Architect. I don't know that I'm a fan of this. The palate definitely does more for me than the nose. Now that I'm kind of acclimated to it a little bit, it's going away fairly quickly. I did get a little bit more of a milk chocolate on there that time, on the palate only, not on the nose. And that helped to counteract a little bit of that funky fruit and bring it into more of a balance. But I don't know that that's my jam. You know, I would probably rather just have a Penelope barrel strength. Some of those are pretty good. But the Penelope toasted, I think, is really where they shine. I think in particular, if you can find a lightly toasted Penelope, that is far and away, I think one of my favorite toasted bourbons on the market. Beyond the Row, what is up? Hey, good to see you in the house. Some new names tonight, guys. Got Beyond the Row. I know I saw some people earlier that I have not seen. Crazy Kitty 83. I don't know if I've seen Crazy Kitty hanging out. And then some other, I remember there was a super chat earlier of somebody who was just jumping in for the first time, Mike Snook. So thank you all for jumping in. A lot of new faces, first, second timers, and that's awesome. Very cool. Devin, this is not really a fresh crack. I mean, I know I hadn't drank it down that much, but this bottle's been open for several weeks. I usually give Penelope a pass on a lot of their youth and ethanol because I like the brand, you know? I try to take the good with the bad. I'm always honest about the whiskey and how it tastes, but then I always subjectively will say, but I still like it because of XYZ. You know, this is one where I still love Penelope. The idea of the Architect series, the branding, labeling, everything is beautiful. This whiskey is just not for me, personally. I think this one just needs more age in the primary cask. Secondary barrel finish, fine. The French oak is decently well integrated, it feels like. It's not overdone. You're getting the French oak characteristics in here. But I don't know. Yeah, I just think the base whiskey needs to be older before it's going into this secondary cask. Yes, Ghost Piper, please hit that like button, y'all. Robotic, I think, Cam, this is where your palate and mine part company. I enjoy the French oak offerings I try out there, especially Frenchman. We align on a lot of other stuff. Yeah, and it's good to recognize that kind of thing, I think, too, Robotic. And this is a good thing to just talk about with everybody, you know, is not everybody's going to align on everything. I'm doing my best to look at this as objectively as I can. Yeah. I am... This is the thing I think in my life about a lot of things, not just whiskey, music styles, food that I am not a fan of. I think if I don't like something, that to me seems like a challenge to find a way to like it, find a way to appreciate it. Even at the end of the day, if I don't reach for this bottle all the time, I want to find a way to really enjoy it and love it. And I think sometimes there are things that are just really bad. And who knows, this could be one. For me, or for others, or whatever, or for everybody objectively, and maybe Robotic is the weird one for liking this. Like, I don't know what's right and what's wrong, you know what I'm saying? But even if I don't reach for this all the time, I think it's important to do your best to find appreciation in more things than what you just like on the surface. And I've found for my life, especially as like an artist and a musician, that has served me very well. And I'm trying to bring that into what I do with whiskey because I think it's important for us. This is something the Bourbon Junkies talked about today in their video, which is a great video when they were addressing comments on Reddit, which I think is Reddit is like just a cesspool. I mean, we can all agree to that. Like 85% of what goes on there is just really negative bullshit. And there are some gems on Reddit. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's flipped. Maybe only 15% is a cesspool. But that stuff really speaks loudly, as negativity always does. Their video today was great, and they talked about I lost my train of thought. What was I even talking about? Yeah, I don't know. Something about flavor profiles. If I think of it, I'll come back to you. Good. It gets me off my soapbox. Let's go to the Frenchman, guys. Let's dig into the Frenchman a little more now that I've kind of already dealt with the Penelope. Let's go to this one. Wow. I mean, after the Penelope, the Frenchman smells like $1 million. And at first, like I have gone to this Frenchman, I don't know if you can see, maybe 2 times since I got it this week. Each time I've been like, I don't know what I'm feeling about this. It feels closed off, like it needs some air time. It feels like a bottle that needs a month or two. Popped open, getting some air into it. Ding dong. Even though that's the case, I think having this whiskey sit out as it has right now for 15, 20 minutes, I think it's already changing for the better. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just reading the chat here, guys, as I nose this. Wow. Wow. I have to pull a bottle real quick. I have to pull Discovery 8. All right. We're gonna do a comparison here that I didn't expect to do tonight, but I think it's gonna be worthwhile. Crazy Kitty, I'm starting to love rum. Guys, by the way, like button, all that kind of good stuff, whatever, reminders, giveaway, hooray. More importantly, please, if you've tried the Frenchman, and especially Penelope too, but right now, if you've tried the Frenchman and you have some thoughts on this, please, if you're not drinking it right now, let me know what you remember about it. If you do have the opportunity to pour this and drink it along with me, I would love if you would do that, because I want to hear from you guys on this bottle, especially as I do this comparison to Discovery 8 here in just a second. This is an interesting one for me. I think this might be a highly undervalued bottle, or it might totally not be. I don't know. That was an exciting sip of this bottle. Crazy Kitty, starting to love rum. Not saying bourbon is bad, but I've had an Appleton Estate 12 years, my first, and it was delicious. I've also had bourbons too that I love on first sip. Crazy Kitty, moving from bourbon to rum seems to be a really common thing that a lot of people are doing. I think in part because the flavor profiles in some ways are similar, especially if you get a cask strength rum. I think highly aged cask strength rums, no additives when you're looking at like a Foursquare, which is a brand that a lot of people are getting into. Value proposition is pretty good on those bottles. They're not typically marked up too much. They carry great age statements, like I said, cask strength, no additives. I think when you get that cask strength rum, there's a lot of carryover from the bourbon world, and I think it invites a lot of people to it. I also think as bourbon drinkers who are very frustrated with the state of the allocated game and all the craziness going on, we're all looking for maybe not a way out of bourbon, but a sidebar, something tangential to what we're doing with bourbon that, like, okay, I can't find E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof this week that's dropping around town. I'm going to go pick up, a Foursquare, whatever. In my case, I can feel myself leaning towards Armagnac. Like, that's going to be a thing for me moving forward over the next 5 years. It's like, okay, I can't get these allocated drops. I'm going to go buy a cask strength Armagnac, 15, 20 years old. That's where I'm finding myself leaning. So if you guys have any rum recommendations in the chat, please drop them in. I'm not a big rum person. I can't find my footing with it right now. I do believe, like I said earlier, I want to find a way to like it. I just haven't found my gateway rum yet. Tequila, different story. I think I could really get into some tequila and mezcal. Rum is tough, man. Let's see. Joe, agree, Cam. When traveling, I seek out tasting menus where you just hand yourself over to the chef. You can't say, I don't like X. And it's, yeah. Dude, I don't like mushrooms. This is something I just can't really eat a lot of. I just can't eat mushrooms. I'm just not into it. Not even of the magic variety. And I just haven't tried that. But if they're in the right sauce or something, man, I can get into it. And it's nice when you go to a restaurant and, yeah, you do a chef tasting menu like that. That is awesome. Mike Thompson, Cam, your assessment of build 1 needing more time in primary cask is a common critique. I heard build number 2 is taking the feedback into consideration. That's good. That's good. My mom loves Sammy Hagar's Beach Bar rum. Uh-oh. She's going to be white girl wasted. Oh, shit. Seth. Guys, this is... Okay. Seth, the reason you see a lot of the bottles behind me and on this table, and this one too. This one. The 89 Old Granddad 114. The reason you see so many of these bottles is because Seth delivers these things. All right? He's the UPS driver for my street, my area, and he's also a whiskey lover. He loves peated scotch from what we've talked about. And at one point, I think I gave him a sample pack of some different peated scotches, Campbelltown scotches too. Dude, Seth, thanks for saying, hey, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. And Seth, if I am able to get this Sherbrooke rye tomorrow at 2 or 3 p.m., whenever the online release is, then I'm going to be seeing you next week. That's awesome. So the 89 was several months ago, but I remember when you dropped it off because I was like shitting my pants because I'm like, that's a $900 bottle, you know? Like, I hope it made it safely. I know, Amy. I basically told Seth, like, hey man, here's the deal. Like, here's what's arriving all the time. This is why you're at my house 3 days a week. My mom's gonna love that I said that. Cam, what about leaning more towards Irish or Scotch? Also, guys, you want to move on from the jazz playlist? What do you think? You want to go to some lo-fi? I have a weird drum album like I talked about. What do you guys want? Or you want to stick with the jazz? It's cool with me. It should be on loop. So we should still be getting some jazz. Let me get this out of here. Get that out of there. I'm going to start drinking it. Yeah, Seth is a god among men. Amen to that, Ghost Piper. Let's get into some lo-fi. Let's do lo-fi mix 1. So here we go. We'll get into this, and then I'll put on that drum album mix. Maybe we can cycle through to that next. Each mix is like 20 minutes long, so it'll loop through maybe once, and then we'll move on. And I can only use royalty-free music. I can't use like Spotify. You know, I can't pump in Slipknot. Okay, let's get this Penelope out of here. Not a fan. Actually, one last comparison. Why not? Yeah, I mean, if you are a fan of Penelope normally, which I am, with reservations sometimes, the Architect, if you're a fan of their flavor profile, this is just going to be a great addition to your bar. I do believe that. Similar to the rosé cask finish, which brings out more strawberry notes, a little bit more of a floral note, a hint more of like maybe that vanilla kind of thing. This brings out something slightly darker than that. Like I said, those weird stewed fruits. If you like the Penelope profile, you are going to enjoy that. It's not going to be a regretful purchase for you. On the other hand, this Lucky 7 Frenchman is a different story. This bottle is going to appeal to like 90% of you out there. I do believe that. One I talked about earlier, I'm getting like these fiery, flaming notes, like fiery cherry notes, burnt orange, this kind of thing. I will say that it seems a little choked off. Sometimes when you, I mean, this could be any bourbon, right? After aging, it'll feel choked off. But I think often when you put whiskey into a secondary cask and you pull it at cask strength, which this is not labeled cask strength, but 113 is high. Okay, so let's just say at least it's a high proofer. When you pull it at a higher proof, sometimes the wood of that secondary cask chokes the whiskey off, and I feel like it conceals some of the flavors. And you either need air or you need water, or it's just a lost cause. This feels choked off to me in the mid-range of its like nose. Like I'm talking about this orange and cherry and these dark burnt notes, but there's something about the body of the whiskey that's just like not there to me on the nose. It feels like I want a big punch of like boozy caramel syrup, and it's not there. It's really confusing. Yeah, let me go to the palate. It's still choked off. I'm going to put some water here in just a second, but I have to do the discovery comparison first. The palate. Fantastic. A little sharp. Some nice savory notes actually on the palate too. Got to be from that French oak. As it starts to develop. Wow. All right, so I would say that the front of the palate on the Lucky Seven Frenchman, I'm not the biggest fan of. It feels sharp and woody and a little overly spicy for what it is, but this thing rolls back and it starts to sweeten up and it starts to become more velvety and creamy in the mid palate. And what it brings with it, it tastes like not pineapple upside down cake. Some sort of like, maybe it is pineapple upside down cake. Like, but you've torched the top of it or something, like kind of, again, that fiery thing I talked about. It gets creamy and decadent and dessert-like in the mid palate. That was totally different than anything I've experienced on a French oak finish. That was awesome. Front of the palate, I'm going to ding it. Mid to back palate, amazing. Amy Baum says just like this or just like this. I don't know. We could have commas on pretty much any of those words. It could change the meaning. Just like this. Love you all. Cheers. Love you too, Amy. Cheers to you. I can't forget to put you into the giveaway. Thank you so much, and thanks for being here. JG, Cam, I think it's time that you quit your day job and go work for a distillery. Jay, that would be a dream come true, man. I know nothing about the ins and outs of like being at a distillery. I was just asked today to come help pick some barrels at Middle West. You guys know that I love Middle West Spirits here in Columbus. The Ohio Liquor Agency is going to be picking some barrels, and they invited me along, which was like, you know, as somebody with only 3,000 subscribers, I felt like that's awesome. You know, I was like happy. It was like a moment for me today when I got that email. So I'm sure Rudra is not watching from Middle West, but if you are watching, Rudra, thank you for asking me. I appreciate that. So, yeah, anyways, I would love to do that. And I've been thinking about, because I am a freelancer, like, and I have weird schedules, I've been thinking about asking them if I can just come, I don't know, shadow, or like, not full-on apprentice, but just come observe what's going on, you know, and just watch the process and be able to ask a few questions, but try to be out of the way, you know? Oh, Amy, I see what you did. You hyped it, and then you entered. You're awesome. Robotic. Power of suggestion. Here we go. I'm gonna sip or nose along with your notes. Mexican brown sugar. I like that. I like that call out. I don't know why I didn't put my finger on a brown sugar note. Orange marmalade over toast. Totally. That is what I'm vibing with on like a burnt orange kind of fieriness, burnt toast. I got you on that. Seed of a stone fruit. I think I mentioned like a overstewed peach note on this. Mid-grade thin maple syrup. That's interesting. Thin. To me, that speaks a little bit to the sharper woodiness of this, kind of holding back a full flavored profile on the whiskey, which sounds so freaking nerdy when I said that out loud. You guys, look, if you're here, you understand that I'm just a little too verbose sometimes. Sometimes I need to shut up and drink whiskey. Paul Graham, what's up, dude? I'm glad you're still here, man. For my palate, Sam Houston 15 is a better value than any disco at 165. If you rewind time to Discoveries 1 through 4, those are competitive for me. Well, and also the Discoveries back then, 1 through 4, were, I believe, 119 MSRP. The SRP of those has shot up to about 140 these days. And the collaborative bottles are between 160 and 200. It's getting crazy out in these streets, Paul. We love nerds. Most of us are. I know. I'm with you, man. I didn't think that I could get nerdier than like the music side of what I do, which is fairly nerdy. And then I got into whiskey, and it's like, damn it, it's just as bad. Crazy Kitty says Foursquare Rum is available at probably a Total Wine in Roseville, California. Where are you located, Crazy Kitty? Are you close? All right, so let me pour a little more Frenchman. I know we're moving a little slower tonight. I do apologize for that. I think it's good. It's good to be hanging tonight. I know I wasn't on last week. I did the little Tuesday taste along this Tuesday, which was cool. It was good to try it out the first time. I will be doing a Tuesday taste along next week, and I'm probably going to be asking my patrons and also YouTube in general on like a poll, what you would like to see me do the Tuesday taste along for, because I want it to be a bottle that a lot of you are going to have, and you can actually taste it along with me live, one bottle, and then be done after like 20 minutes. So, that's the goal. So I'm going to be doing another one of those next week, and again, more content on the way. 70 people in here. Please hit that like button on your way in or on your way out if you're jumping between different live streams. Robotic says Frenchman finished last longer than one would think because it's 113 proof. Yeah. Now here's the thing, guys. The Frenchman, like I said, I believe this needs air. It seems to be that whiskey, and I will try it with water in a second. But I pulled Discovery 8 out because I think this is going to be an apt comparison. Frenchman suffers a little bit from the syndrome that Discovery 8 suffers from, which is slightly, in my opinion, being over-oaked. Not in a traditional, funky, dark, aged oak sense, but in like that raw, sharp wood sense. Like the lumber section of a Home Depot or a Lowe's, depending on where you live. So I want to compare it next to Discovery 8 because I think Discovery 8 has the same problems. Discovery 8's 114.1. Frenchman is 113. Frenchman's half the price. So if the Frenchman comes out even close to Discovery 8, it's going to be great for me to be able to recommend this bottle to you or anybody else 2 times over as compared to the Discovery 8. So let's see how this stacks up very quickly here. Remember, Discovery 8 has a bunch of staves thrown into the blend. Let's see here. See if I still have these. Yeah, Discovery 8, mash bill. Kind of hard to see. Okay, but there's the mash bill, mostly Kentucky 12-year. God, that's really hard to see. Sorry. And then the staves here, you have this stave breakdown. But all those staves just make it a little too woody for me. So let's check out the Frenchman first, and now Discovery 8. That's really close. That's really close. And I don't know which way I'm going yet. Wow, so there's more of a mid profile to Discovery 8. And what I mean by that is like the body of the whiskey that I think that the Frenchman is missing. In the middle of the nose, I guess. Does that make sense? Like, you're getting the sharp notes, you're getting some dark notes underneath, but there's this like body of it on the nose that feels like it's not there. It's choked off by the wood. The Discovery 8 makes up for that issue. But I still think the Frenchman's nose is actually better right now. Wow, the Frenchman, when I come back to it off of Discovery 8, I'm getting some cedar notes, like that cigar box kind of thing. And Discovery 8 feels like it has a little bit more of a red fruit component to it. So very interesting comparison. Could be a tie, could be leaning slightly towards the Lucky 7 for me personally, or a Discovery 8 if you really care about like a full-bodied whiskey on the nose. So, let's do the Discovery now on the palate. Sorry, I try to pull the mic away when I'm making mouth sounds. Sorry. JG says, is it Lowe's or Home Depot? We have both. I have both, too. I don't know. I don't know, Jay. Joe, thank you for the super chat, man. Let me get you in here. Oh, hang on. There we go. Joe W. with 2 entries. Until they prove me wrong and Discovery 6 was close, I'm probably still a buy on Discovery every single time. If I didn't have a whiskey channel where I wanted to talk about it and be like in the know and relevant, you know, to new releases and all that kind of like stuff, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, because here's what I saw. Like, Discovery 5 crashed and burned. Discovery 6 was like, we're on the right path. Discovery 7, to me, is totally not my flavor profile. But I do appreciate why people like it. So I'll give them a pass on that, like, for me personally. But others, I understand. Now, Discovery 8 is like, you literally went to the opposite end of the spectrum from Discovery 7. It could not be more of a different whiskey. From having, like, 100% corn whiskey in the mix, with that really impacting the palate on Discovery 7, to now stay finished out the booty hole. Like, Discovery 8 is so different. With Fred Minnick's review of Discovery 9, who knows? Like, I think Discovery 9 is going to be my final, like, take on the Discovery series until I have to say, like, maybe I'm going to pass on the next release, or maybe I'm definitely going to buy the next release. For me, Booker's has been teasing in that way too recently. It's like, are they back? Is it getting better? It's not. Lumberyard Batch was a train wreck for me personally. Spoiler alert, that's the next review that's going to come out. Crazy Kitty, that'll tempt you. If they have it, you're close to the Total Wine in Roseville. That's going to be tempting. Oh, Robotic, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. Get you in here, make sure I don't forget. Cheers for letting me wax Bourbonic with you in the chat. Oh, dude, of course. Come on. That's all I can do is say too many things that a lot of them don't mean much. Audio Junkie says we can gauge your inebriation better. How? I try to keep it under wraps until it hits a point. Sometimes it hits that point where it's off the rails. Like, I'm definitely red in the face, but also I smile a lot. So maybe we'll just say it's because I'm smiling. It's not the alcohol. Come on. Okay. All right, back to the nose between these two, Frenchman and Disco 8. Discovery 8 is now really, after it's had a few minutes in the glass, starting to show its maybe cohesiveness, maybe age of the base whiskey here on the nose. It's starting to get much fuller coming out of the glass and less woody, especially now that my palate is acclimated to all of that wood. But damn it, if the Frenchman's not right there with it, I mean, it really is. And if you guys are like, hey, the max I'm going to spend this month on whiskey is $140. So I might buy this Discovery 8. Or should I save $70 and buy the Frenchman? I say buy the Frenchman. That's what I say. Mm-hmm. It's slightly thinner. Oh. But that mid palate into the back, as it starts to blossom and become more creamy, more full. Oh, and now into the finish. All right. I'm sold on the Frenchman. I really am. Penelope, not so much. So that answers the French oak debate for me, at least for now. If I keep comparing these things, I'm going to be too drunk to keep going tonight. So let me get these off the table. Also, how's everything sounding? By the way, how has the stream quality been tonight? Please let me know that. I've seen a couple of warnings come up on my internet connection, which is fucking, sorry, pardon my French, crazy, because I'm hardwired in. Like, the fact that my internet can't keep up, if it can't keep up, is insane to me. Yeah, Beyond the Row by the Frenchman. Yes. Yes. Audio Junkie says stream is good in California. That's good to know. Good to know. How's that lo-fi playlist, guys? I went through Epidemic Sound and I downloaded like tracks that I felt like wouldn't be too in the way. I actually put the tracks into into an audio program, basically a DAW for those of you who know audio stuff. I put it in there. I kind of, blended them together at the end of each track. I EQ'd it to where like the frequency that my voice is speaking, I brought those frequencies down in the background tracks so that I could actually speak over the tracks a little bit easier. And then exported that 20, 25, 30-minute mix and then brought it into StreamYard. So that's the way that I did it. And I tried to make it to where it's like fast song, slow song, and have an order that made a little bit more sense. But I didn't spend hours and hours on it. So, I'll keep adding playlists each week, and who knows? Before I did that water shot, I saw this from JG. I'm going to try to not be demonetized from JG tonight. Paul says maybe more volume. Paul, on what sound? Voice or music? The music is probably kind of low right now. Stanley, my mouth is acclimated to the wood. Oh, don't tell Sarah. All right. Let's get into some dustiness. Let me do this. Let's take a look at Old Charter 7-year. All right. Make sure I got a clean glass. Amy, I just imagine, you sound fantastic, darling. That's what I imagined. Paul says music. Well, Joe, you probably haven't heard any of the background music because I haven't shut the hell up all night. Yeah, robotic. That's the other thing is trying to mix this thing for different headphones, earbuds, speakers. I think speakers, the background music tends to be a lot lower than if you have cans on or if you have earbuds. Yeah, I'll bump it just a little bit. I think we bump it up just a smidge. There we go. Just a couple notches. Cool. All right. Yeah, Amy. So, guys, hit that like button, please, of course. And tonight's giveaway is a 1-ounce sample of everything that I'm tasting tonight. All right, so Penelope Architect, Lucky Seven Frenchman. I'll throw that Discovery 8 in there. That's a great one to throw in the blend so you can do that comparison I just did. You can come back and rewatch or do it on your own. This Old Charter 7-year is going to be from the 1980s. 1-ounce sample of that. Frey Ranch, which is coming next, and then EJ Curly Single Barrel, Tiger Thick, little celebrity whiskey action tonight, and I'll throw something else in there too to make it make it interesting. I'll throw something like a Coy Hill or a Magnus Cigar Blend or something along those lines. So yeah, every $5 super chat is going to get you entered into win. Amy says, Cam, I have a dusty old charter. Do you know how to tell year off of codes or bottle? I do not know that, Amy. You know, the only way that I'm dating this to the 1980s is just by looking at auctions and looking for similar stuff. And some reputable auctions have dated these to be, this bottle design in particular, to be from the 1980s. Interestingly, though, I suppose I should have thought harder about the tax strip and looked that up. Because, yeah, I'd be curious to see some details about this tax strip design that I have here. Yeah, I don't know. Holy shit, Paul Graham, dude. Thank you so much again. Good God, guys, Paul Graham. There's a reason he wins every giveaway. Like, I mean, you should have seen the box I just sent him. It weighed like over 30 pounds. It was insane, the box I just sent Paul. But Paul, thank you so much, man, for another $50 super chat, which is just ridiculous. Goodness. I don't even know what to say anymore. Paul's awesome. At 11:11 p.m. he sent that. Make a wish. Oh, goodness. All right. So let's do this. The tax strip, a little bit earlier tonight, before I went to my gig, I checked this out. I peeled away the last little bit of the tax strip. It's still intact. It looks like freaking, what is that, Pippi Longstockings? Is that what I'm thinking of? So we got that. And there's a little seal here on the top of this bottle. Again, a 200 milliliter bottle. All right. So we'll get that off of there. She smells dusty. I'm going to get a fresh glass. I rinsed this. I want to get a fresh glass. Okay, solid pour. All right, I was going to see if Sarah wanted to drink this before she went to bed. She was at my gig tonight, but she'll be out by this point, so she can try it tomorrow. Guys, I got this on secondary. I mean, you know, I don't mind talking about what I do and don't purchase and what I pay on secondary. For the channel, right? No, for me, selfishly. This was one of those bottles that I saw pop up. It was a 200 milliliter. I don't know jack shit about Old Charter. I know nothing. I looked up some of the history of the company, you know, who owned it, when it was acquired by different companies, stuff like that. Truthfully, I didn't know what to expect from this. The 200 milliliter bottle was priced at $75 with shipping included. Shipping is $15-20, you know, depending on the size of the box. So I felt like I was actually paying a pretty fair price for 200 milliliters of a 1980s bourbon. I don't know if that was a good decision, and we're going to see now if it was. It's an 86 proofer, again, presumably dated to the 1980s, although not confirmed because I haven't confirmed it. So let's see. This is not the best dusty whiskey I've ever smelled, but it smells dusty. Let's just say that right off the bat. It needs a little time in the glass, actually, it feels like, which is understandable. It's been hanging out in there for almost, I don't know, 30 to 40 years. Wow, that is very interesting. I'm going to come back to it in just a second. I don't want to talk about it yet. I'll come back to it in just a second. I think it needs a little bit more air. Stanley, dude, thank you for the super chat. Let me get you in here just so I don't forget. Might as well give it a shot. We'd really like to try that Old Charter. Plus, possibility of a cigar blender Coy Hill. Hell yes. Wood acclamation. Hashtag wood acclamation. That's awesome, man. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Stanley, and good luck on the giveaway, man. That's hilarious. Jake McKee with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Jake. Fingers crossed, man. You've already won 2 of these damn things, huh? Like pretty recently, which is awesome. Jay says, just saw that bottle on the bottom shelf. That's hilarious. Yeah, fresh glass is absolutely necessary, you guys are saying. Casually craps myself. Do smells translate through YouTube? So, again, this is something that is really hard to describe if you have never smelled or tasted a Dusty, and I apologize if I continue to say, oh, it smells dusty, it smells this. It's hard to describe if you haven't had that experience. But the old bottle effect is so real on this bottle. So one thing that I think I'm starting to differentiate with Dusties is old bottle effect versus actual like dusty notes from either the distillation or from the wood, from like old growth wood. Because there's a distinct note that you get from whiskey that's been sitting in a bottle for like 3, 4, 5 decades. That's like shitty whiskey to begin with. Like I have like this really bad blended scotch from the 1980s, but it's been in the bottle since the 1980s, so it has what I would call an old bottle effect note on it. That's a real tough one to describe. Ooh, this one actually kind of smells a little bit like you're in a... You ever been in like a building built in the 1950s? Like a school built in the 1950s? There's a certain smell that has. Kind of smells like you're walking down the hallway of one of those buildings. That's what this smells like. That's kind of like the old bottle effect note. The dusty note to me feels more like it's being brought on by the wood itself. And I might have these things conflated, you know, like this might not be accurate, but at least my interpretation, which is really hard to parse out for anybody because I don't think we can really understand it until we're 20 to 30 years down the line and we take a sip of that wild turkey that we have a bottle of right now, then we might start to understand this. But it's got that 1950s school hallway vibe on this one. This is interesting. The whiskey itself is actually quite nutty, and I'm not a big fan of nuts in my whiskey. There's a good bit of nuttiness here. Oh, but it's like it's some sort of imagine if you had like a heavy cream or like an icing, like a vanilla heavy cream or a vanilla icing, this kind of thing, but it was flavored. That like decadence of the creaminess of those dessert things, but it was flavored to be like really bright cherry and bright orange and bright green apple, like very bright fruit notes in a dessert way, in a icing way. It's hard to describe this. I'm doing this off the cuff. Sorry. Wigmaster, I have no idea. But some of the assumed differences, I would say, in Dusties of certain eras is that some of the wood used in those barrels could possibly be. I don't know. I really want to, like, if I could just nerd out for a month and just research this and ask questions and send emails and read books, I really want to know what's going on with Dusty whiskey. I'm going to take a sip. That is... Huh. So I think the palate was really light. I mean, okay, maybe light is not the right word. No, it is. Light is the right word. It's not thin, but it's light. The flavor profile is light. There was like powdered sugar donuts on the palate. Yeah, it got way brighter on the palate. Ooh, that's cool. I have goosebumps. I mean, there's probably no way you can see that. I literally have goosebumps from that. That's neat. It's not the best whiskey I've ever had. I think the palate loses some of the dustiness, and you can actually taste what this whiskey would have tasted like in the 1980s. Whereas the nose, you get that full old bottle effect on the nose. The palate, it's like that's probably what that bourbon tasted like back then. I've never had a whiskey, a dusty, have that much of a separation from nose to palate. But the separation is really just the dusty note. That's what's really cool about it. Huh. I'm interested. Paul Graham has a 55 Johnny Walker Red. It's the best scotch I've ever had. Dude, I don't know about the 50s era stuff. The 82 Johnny Black that I have is ridiculous. And I have a 1980s era backup too. I don't know exactly what year that one is. Those old Johnny Walkers, the whiskey that they use in those blends, oh my God. Like the 82 Johnny Black that I have tastes like current day Springbank was put in the mix. Like high quality stuff. And it's dusty. Okay, let's see here. I missed a few. Yes, Stanley. And nobody's a fan of nuts in there. I don't know. Some people are probably a fan of nuts in their whiskey. Let me check here. Daniel, what's up, man? Laura called, which I had to leave abruptly. Come back to say goodbye. Look at my text. I saw you texted me today. I was in rehearsals and then a concert. I'll get back to you, man. Cheers and have a good night. You too, dude. Cheers to you, and I will get back to you. Yeah, Trevor, I'm still going. Much to the dismay of some people, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Stanley, you know what? I would love to collab with Dusty Dan. I've watched a few of his reviews recently. I would love to collab with Dusty Dan on a live stream, in a live stream setting. I think that would be really cool to do. And not just because I want to send samples back and forth and sneak my way into getting some Dusty whiskey. That would be a benefit. But I think it would be a lot of fun actually to do that. Crazy Kitty, is the Black Label Frey Ranch any good? We're going to find out here in just a second, as soon as I shut up about this Dusty. I can't leave any of this in the glass, though, so... I'm telling you, and I will reiterate this point forever and ever. Oh, that is such an interesting whiskey. Like, you can tell this was not the highest... The most highly touted whiskey in the 1980s. You can tell that when you taste it. But it's still really good. And this is the thing. I think like the bottom shelf of the 1980s is pretty good compared to the bottom shelf, the swill that we have these days. I will just say this over and over again. If you have the chance to try a Dusty whiskey, and you're met with, like, if you're at like a bar that has Dusties, which are probably few and far between, and you see George T. Stagg and you see Old Granddad bottled in bond from like the 80s or 90s, and they're comparably priced, you get that Old Granddad. Don't think twice about that. Dusty whiskeys are finite. They are not being made the same way anymore, clearly. And that is where our money, in my opinion, should go. Hype the Dusties. That's what I say. All right. Let's do Frey Ranch. Oh, Roy, dude, did I miss you? I'm sorry, Roy. Oh, dude, so sorry. I just kind of was briefly scooting through the chat there. Boot scooting boogie through the chat. I apologize. Hey, Cam, how you been? I hope well. Good to see you too, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I'm sorry I missed your chat. I do my best. No, I do want to say hi. I promise. I got to get some water in my body. So, like I said earlier, tonight I played a show, right? On the way to the show, actually, on the way to eat some dinner before the show, we're going to go get some, just casual dinner with Sarah and with Sarah's mom. Sarah and Sarah's mom went to the show tonight. We were taking my car, pull out of my driveway. I get literally halfway down my street. My tire light comes on, my tire pressure. And I was like, I felt it. And I was like, all right, Sarah, we got a flat tire. And pulled over. That thing was hissing like a madman. And I tried to get it home. Got halfway back down my street before I was completely flat. Could feel and hear the rim on the ground. And it was like, okay. And I stopped right there. I was on the side of the road. So I'm parked in front of a neighbor's house like 10 houses down. And that's where my car is going to stay right now until I get up tomorrow morning and jack that thing up. And I don't have a donut, so I got to get that tire. See if I can get it repaired. But honestly, I have brand new tires on my car, which I'm pissed about. I'd rather just buy a new tire to make me feel good. When you repair a tire, I know it's like a reliable thing, but it still freaks me out because we're going to drive to Michigan next weekend for the Junkies Hangout in my car. I'd rather just have a new freaking tire. So that happened. And then we go to dinner, and I get the burger. I've talked on my channel about some of my dietary things, trying to figure out some stuff with my body. So I avoid gluten. I mostly avoid dairy now. If I do have any dairy, I pop some Lactaid, Ate my dinner, and something happened. Triggered it, and numbness in my fingers. Muscle cramps and stuff like this in my body. And I was just like, what the hell is going on? And then I played a gig tonight. So if you do super chat this evening, I'm not saying this for sympathy. You're contributing to the spare tire fund, the flat tire fund. That's what you're contributing to. I have a food allergy test on the way right now I'm going to take. Yeah, Amy. I know that I need to get this thing. Tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll go down the street, and I got to figure out where the hole is in the tire. I have a bad feeling about it, though. Okay, let me check the chat. yeah, I had it was like I just had a day. Or really, it was just an evening. It's like, damn it. Jay, I know how to change a dang tire. I just don't have a donut, dude. Come on. Come on. All right, so we're getting into some Frey Ranch now. If you're hanging out tonight, hit that like button. Please and thank you. That would help so much. Get some more people in here this evening. Again, every $5 super chat tonight is entering you into a giveaway to win a sample pack, 1 ounce each of everything that I taste this evening, including the 1980s Old Charter 7-year that I just got done tasting, which is really, really neat. A cool thing to check out. And also going to throw in a sample or two from my collection, something along the lines of a Coy Hill or a Magnus cigar blend. All right. Roy N., thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. And I hope, cheers to tomorrow, right? I was going to sit down and edit a bunch of videos tomorrow, but I'm like, my God, maybe I got to go handle the tire situation. I got some errands to run. But I don't want to delay. I want to get some more videos out. Mark says, I'm in for 132nd. Have another drink. That's funny, Mark. Hey, by the way, Mark, I sipped some more of that tears sample that you sent me. For those of you in the chat, I'm talking about tequila, not literal tears. I sipped some of that yesterday, and it was just amazing, man. I love that stuff. So this Frey Ranch pick is picked by Rayleigh's, and Paul sent me some information about the person that picked this, which was really cool, and I can't remember all of the details. Paul, I apologize if you're still watching. These are presumably fairly young single barrels, but this one is 126.4 proof, non-chill filtered. It is their bourbon, and it is bottle 164. So if there's 164 bottles, I would imagine they're using 53-gallon barrels, right? I would have to imagine. So let's check it out. Ooh. That is a beast on the nose. That is fiery and jumping out of the glass, which is good because I feel like a lot of the stuff I've had tonight has been kind of muted. Yeah, I don't know. Roy says, put me in for the Coy Hill. Yes to Tears of Llorona. Roy, thank you, man. Thank you so much. I got you entered to win. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you being here. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, and you guys are right. I've seen a lot of comments about this in the chat. Is welcome to manhood. The Frey Ranch bottle is really impressive. It is. It's like the heaviest bottle on the market. This is significant. Horses and bourbon. I ride horses, 4-wheel drive all the time, no flats. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Horses and bourbon. I got you in for 4 entries to tonight's giveaway. Thank you so much. Hey guys, let's double the giveaway. Let's do 2 sample packs of everything I'm drinking tonight. Let's do that. That's gonna make me feel better. When I see that like there's been a good amount of super chats coming in, it's like, you know what? Let's just do 2 of them. So we will do 2 of the exact same sample pack, everything I'm drinking tonight, plus 2 awesome samples. All right, let's make that happen. Zombies, how can I get in on this giveaway? You have to. So the giveaway is you enter with super chats, which is an icon in the bottom left corner, I believe, of the chat that you're using right now. And so you would super chat, and you would super chat every $5 you enter is 1 giveaway, kind of like a raffle ticket would be. And then I'll tally that on my end, and I'll randomize the list at the end, and I'll have Siri either call out a number or I'll run it through a randomizer 7 times, and whoever wins is at the top of that list. And now we're going to be doing 2 prize packs for that. So, all right, I'm going to taste this Frey Ranch and come back to the nose. Wow. Holy shit. Whew. Oh my God. As Robotic said, welcome to manhood. Okay. That is crazy. Oh, that's an interesting note on the finish I have to talk about. So this has been recently circulating in some secondary groups. Like, people have been hyping Frey Ranch single barrels and upcharging for them, actually. So when I saw that, I was like, maybe I need to revisit this bottle that Paul Graham, who's in the chat, sent me. And I don't know what the age of this particular pick is, and I don't know what the age of the ones coming out now are, because this was probably bottled closer to, a year and a half ago, I would imagine. And the ones coming out today, maybe they're a little bit older. This is a firestorm. This is crazy on the palate. Roy, it doesn't appear to be the whiskey. And I know I would say that, right? I've cut it out, and the same thing happens. It seems to be food related. At a time, I thought it was entirely dairy. At a time, I thought it was entirely gluten. Sometimes it seems like it could be sodium related, which is kind of interesting to me. Sometimes immediately after meals, it feels like an allergic reaction, like a moderate allergic reaction, not severe where like I need an EpiPen or anything like that. And sometimes it takes 24 to 48 hours to get there. And I certainly know that stress is involved in these things getting worse or getting better, but it's anybody's guess. I've been scoped, I've gotten a CT scan. And now at this point, I'm going to start taking things in my own hands and trying to do some allergy testing and food sensitivity testing and try to just see if there's anything else I can glean from those tests. Woo, this is strong. Paul says 6 years old in your hand, 4 years in your hand, 6 years in the stores now. Yeah, I bet the 6-year stuff is amazing. This has so much potential. There's notes on this that reminds me of Dusty Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. It's a really hard note to describe. It's a combination of there's honestly like a semi-old bottle note on this with ethanol, strong ethanol, a little bit of like a green sappiness, and then just a wallop of cinnamon too. Very floral as well. So it's like the floral, sappy, oaky, ethanol, old bottle thing reminds me of like a Dusty Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. And that sip was amazing. I did not recognize all the cherry notes. That is pure cherry on the palate. Luxardo cherry syrup. I did not get that on the first sip because it shocked the shit out of me so badly. Whoa. That is going down a lot easier now. Maybe it's because I came off of the Dusty and I'm coming to this. 40 proof points different. Mark Royland in for another 30-second tire fun. I'm talking tired tread depth. Yeah, I didn't know that. Sorry. Mark, I will admit when I'm out of my element. And I was out of my element on that one. Wow. Let's get a little more water in my body. What do you guys think? You want to go to a different lo-fi mix? You want to go back to the jazz? Or do you want to go to the drum album mix? What do you think? The drum album mix has a couple of interesting tunes on it. But I just took the whole album off of Epidemic Sound and put it in here. I need to find out who that artist was so I can kind of give him a shout out on the channel. Back to jazz, says Audio Junkie. JG wants the drum mix. Paul says they filmed part of Top Gun 2 at the... there's a bug in here. There was a bug in here Tuesday night. I think I killed it. It was on the mic. Sorry if you had to hear that. Maybe I didn't kill it because I don't see it. There was a bug in here Tuesday night, too. I don't know how I'm getting all these little gnats in the whiskey room. Come on, what are we doing? Oh, that's awesome, Paul. Tom stopped by the distillery. Very cool. Let's try the drum mix. Give it a chance, guys. It's a little out there, but it's good to hear your feedback on the music, you know? Bugs always find a way. Oh my god, it's in my glass. Motherfucker. I killed it and it fell in my glass. That's a dead, drunk gnat. Poor guy. Poor guy. You know, I don't mind drinking some cork. Don't mind it at all. I don't mind drinking barrel sediment. It's protein. I don't want to drink that. I don't want to drink a bug tonight. Welcome to manhood, as Robotic said, right? Kill it again. Trevor Kunkel, sorry. Maybe Trev also, I don't know. Says, hey Cam, your Middle West Spirits pick is a Stag Junior killer. I let it open up and blinded it. Middle West stuff is amazing. Unfortunately, I say this with, fingers crossed, whatever. They are moving to 53-gallon barrels away from their 30-gallon barrels, and so their stuff is going to just taste much younger now for the next couple of years. I have mixed feelings about this, but the stuff in the 30-gallon barrels, when you would find a really good barrel sample or barrel pick, fantastic and up there with Stag Junior. Like I said earlier in the stream, I'm going to help them 2 weeks from today pick some barrels for the Ohio Liquor Agency, which is like a really cool opportunity personally for me. I don't know if it's going to be 30-gallon or 53-gallon barrels, so it could be a combination. It seems like recently they've been offering barrel picks and then providing samples from both 30 and 53-gallon barrels. So I just stocked up on some recent picks they did of their 30-gallon stuff because I want to stock up before it all goes away. Jay, you killing me, man. Tom Snyder. Let me see what I have back here. I still need to review this. I've tasted it on a live stream. Barrel sent me batch 32. The last one I had before this that they sent me was batch 29. If I recall, I said to pass on 32. The price, I would pass. Yeah. They do a great job blending young whiskey and making it taste older. But if that's a $90 bottle, there's no way in shit I'm buying that. That's my really big issue with barrel, is just the pricing. There are some great flavors in that, though. If you like pineapple, mango, if you like lighter fruit flavors with a decent body to it, you might like that whiskey. But I think 32 is a pass. I haven't had 31 or 33. Roy, I'm going to write this down, man. Thank you for sending this, because I need to find somebody. I don't know if you have a personal connection to Tracy or not, but I need to find somebody that, a lot of doctors, when I go and kind of describe my symptoms and things like this, I've gotten a lot of people brushing me off and thinking I'm crazy, but yeah, I feel like I'm pretty observant at this point, and not overly observant. I don't feel like I'm being a hypochondriac with a lot of this stuff. So, anyways, it's been an interesting journey, health-wise, I will say. I'm going to write that down. Thank you so much, Roy. I know her personally. I'm a physician. I know she can help you. Amazing. Amazing, man. Robotic. Came out, done 2 barrel-proof blinds with friends that contain DCPP, Frey Ranch, Stag Junior, JD single barrel-proof. Frey won both. Robotic, I would love to taste your Frey Ranch then, man, because this one's a little bit rough around the edges, but so much potential in the glass. Whoa, and that one was all grape soda. So, ooh, this is another Goosebumps moment. There is so much potential in this whiskey. I think if you're tasting a 5 or 6 year barrel, that might make all the difference. This is a scary... If this is 4 years old, like Paul's telling me it is, that's frightening. Oh my God. Paul, this has elements of Stag Junior E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof with that grape soda note and that cherry that I got earlier. There are elements of old Elijah Craig. God, I got the belches, the bourbon belches. Ooh, so sorry. There are elements of old Elijah Craig barrel proofs that don't have nuttiness. Like, no, I'm out of focus. There we go. Sorry. It's not nutty, so it's not like current day Elijah Craig barrel proof. It's like the older ones. But I would say it's closest to those things, and there might even be a butterscotch note in this. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of potential in that. I never the first time I tasted this, I did not recognize that. I thought it was fine. I thought it was a craft distillery single barrel at barrel proof, and it was fine. This is... Whoa. This is amazing. Let me throw a little water in it. I was supposed to do this earlier to the Frenchman, and I forgot. I forget a lot of things on these streams. JG says, Whiskey Dreams and good night all. Good night, Jay, and thank you for being here. You have an entry into the giveaway. If you do end up winning it, I'll get in touch with you, man. Yeah, but like robotic, I'm talking, when I'm thinking ECBP here, I'm thinking C919, A118, the pirate bottle I have, A117 if you subtract the nuttiness. Like, it's a very specific profile. Not exactly in line with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, but some aspects of some of my favorite batches, I guess I would say. A little water on this Frey Ranch is doing it wonders. A lot of times with American whiskey, bourbon, my buddy Frank and I have sat down and talked about this, and he kind of opened my eyes to it. Frank, if you're watching, shout out to you, man. He just made the most expensive blend on planet Earth with some Lucky Sevens that he got off of me, which is hilarious. Can't wait to taste it. Anyways, Frank opened my eyes to the fact that Scotch oftentimes does really well with water, but American whiskeys tend to fall apart more with water. They tend to lose mouthfeel to the point that, like, the addition of flavor does not make up for the lack of mouthfeel after you add water. And I tend to agree with that. This Frey Ranch, with a little water, all dark chocolate now. It's amazing. But also more green apple peel. So kind of stratified it on both sides, light and dark. Oh yeah, that's amazing. Is the finish shorter? Yeah. It's lower proof. It's so delicious now. Damn. That's it, man. And that was very little water that I added to that. Wow. So the numbers are dwindling a little bit. It's getting a little bit late. I do understand that. I'm going to try to wrap this up sooner than later. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing fine. Giveaway, I'm going to try to draw for the giveaway. What time is it? Where's my phone? 11:49. Jeez. I don't think I'll be ready for the giveaway at... You know what? Let's do it. Let's do the giveaway at midnight. It's kind of late. I do apologize. We'll do the giveaway at midnight. Remember, 2 now sample packs. Everything I taste tonight. If you stay for the giveaway and then you bounce after that, you know, that's fine. I totally understand. Tomorrow's Friday. It's work day. It's a school day. Whatever you do. You probably won't get my thoughts on the EJ Curly, the Tiger Thick, you know, anything else I might pull off. But I will send the giveaway winners a sample of anything that I drink tonight I think up to 10, 11, 12 samples, whatever it ends up being. I think I can fit that in one box the way that I ship them. And I will throw in a few from my own collection. So we'll cut the super chats off at like 11:58, and then I will share my screen, do the randomizer with all of you watching, so it's 100% transparent. Oh, James, what's up, man? I didn't know you were hanging out. Let me get you in here with 2 entries. Thank you so much. I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on the Middle West OHLQ picks. Yeah, I'm excited to pick them. I have no idea who's going to be there with me. Like Jim Canepa, I don't know if he's going to be there or if they send other people, or if, like, I know some of the guys from Century and Dayton will come and do some of the picks. Jason does some of the picks. Like, I have no idea. I might ask Middle West, who else is going to be hanging out, but I don't even know how they, like, are they going to vote on it? We'll see. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm even, like, usually when you do a pick, you're guaranteed at least one bottle of the pick. I don't know if Ohio can really do that because of the regulations kind of put in place, of being fair and everything. So who knows? Horses and Bourbon, thank you so much for another super chat. I'll just add it to your other entry here, because I can do that because Amy's spreadsheet is amazing. Thank you, Amy. How about FAO2? Found 2 bottles in my local store. 45. Dude, buy them both. Or, well, maybe, at least buy one. FAO2 is very good, in my opinion. Audio Junkie. Art Scotch is usually low proof, thus more water means thinner. You're right that they oftentimes are lower proof. But to me, Scotch opens up differently than bourbon does. Like, there's more nuance. I hate to say that. Like, I think bourbon drinkers, American whiskey drinkers, can be really anti-Scotch. They're more likely to go towards Irish. They can be really anti-Scotch for reasons that are, like, unbeknownst. I don't understand why they're that way. I just don't think they've had the right Scotch. I think there's something very working class about bourbon. I don't want to get too much into the politics of this. I think there's something very, like, blue collar and working class about bourbon and American whiskey. And I think Scotch is viewed in a different light, and I don't think it really should be, if I'm being honest with you. Anyways, like, I think American whiskey drinkers sometimes get freaked out about the idea of adding water to their whiskey. I think they feel like it's improper. Whereas Scotch, it's almost built into the culture of drinking Scotch. But I think there's also a reason for that beyond perception of the whiskey from your point of view as the drinker. Like the cultural perception, like I just said. I also think that Scotch is more complex through and through. And bourbon, I think, falls apart more with water in it. And Scotch maybe opens up flavors even down to 35% alcohol. That might be a hot take. I don't know if it is, but that's just the way I feel. I find more jumping out of Scotch as I add 2 to 3 drops of water at a time than I do with bourbon. That's what I'll say. Dude, Matt Porter, what is up? Legend in the house. Hashtag WTWT. He's here. He is here. My free cams. What? Oh, no. I don't know if that's where you're... Let's get that off the screen. Yeah, grab the FAEO2. Oh, Rob says, Dan and Julie are just wrapping up, so I might gain a few. That would be awesome. That would be amazing. We're going to do the giveaway here in a second, and then I'm going to still taste a few bottles, so I will be hanging. Maybe... Should I not wrap the giveaway if they're wrapping up? Should I give it a set? No, we'll do the giveaway. We'll do the giveaway. I should have put a ticker, a banner at the bottom, but I just forgot. What is happening in the chat? Oh, I think I'm really behind. That might be what's happening. Ooh, robotic. I see this now. I see this comment. All right, I just took another sip. That's a great note. That's a great. I'm into the finish right now. That is a great note. Hot chocolate syrup at the bottom of your mug. But there is also like a chocolate covered cherry thing too, for me. Tight Cuts. Have you seen Old Louisville Distillery? No, I haven't seen that. Yeah, Devin Patel says it's fairly well known Scotch is a more diverse flavor. But diverse across regions and styles and finishes. Yes, I think that is well known. I don't think it's well known that tasting an individual Scotch versus an individual bourbon, that the Scotch more often than not is going to be more diverse. I don't think that's well known, and I could be wrong about that. Z-Man says, cheers, brother. Cheers to you. And thank you for the super chat and getting 2 entries to tonight's giveaway, which there are going to be 2 of now. 2 different sample packs. Not different. 2 of the exact same sample packs. And Excel continues to correct your name to man instead of Z-Man. Yeah, Paul, that's true. I mean, Scotch is so much more expensive. What is up? For those of you who are jumping in now, I think Dan and Julie may have just ended. Hit that like button if you're jumping in here. We're going to do the giveaway in just a second, which is a 1-ounce sample flight of everything I've drank tonight, including this 1980s Old Charter 7 years. So if you have any last-minute entries, get that in blah, blah, blah. Get that in the next 2 minutes, please. I want to draw at midnight for the sample packs. 2 of them. 2 of them. That's going to include some really great whiskeys, everything I've had tonight, including a few great pours for my collection as well. Audio Junkie says, no, I still have not heard of Roe & Co. Irish besides what you've mentioned in the chat, actually. So I'm not sure about that. Tom Snyder with another $10 super chat. Have you had the Found North Bourbon? I have not had any of them. I think I've seen a review. Maybe Jason did a review of one of them some months back. But that's it. I don't know that I've heard anything else or tried them. Yeah. I see Shazbot is saying, I've had Found North Batch 3. It's very good. Hot, but good. Okay. I'm really starting to steer away from hot whiskeys. I don't mean to go off on a tangent on that note, but hot whiskeys to me have been a little off-putting. Guys, let's move back to some smooth jazz. It's getting late. Let's go back to some smooth jazz for the background music. Yeah. If you want to send some samples, that return address is good. 346 are the digits to that return address. Yeah. Found North Batch 2 has opened up to be really good, says Amy. So, yeah. Huh. All right. O'Brien. I didn't see this. I'm going to pull it up and read it. Deep dive question. With the bourbon law of being genuine without additives. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'm going to have an answer for this. Does that apply only after filling the barrel? Wondering about synthetic enzymes. I have no idea. I have zero idea about what you're talking about, and I would love to know more about that and the possible ramifications of what loophole that might be. Very interested in that. Robotic. This is such a good comment. Bourbon is plug and play, as is most of our culinary culture. We don't pour water in a chef's soup. We don't ice our milkshakes. I guess we haven't understood that we eat and drink as it is presented. That is so true. What you see is what you get. And that's American culture, right? I really like that comment. Tim Evans, thank you for the super chat, man. Thanks for hanging out. jumping in here. And cheers to you as well. I'll get you in for the giveaway. And Tight Cuts jumping in as well. Oh my gosh, and Richie Z, let me get you guys entered so I don't forget, and then I'll get to those super chats. There we go. Boom. Yeah, Brian's like, he's like, dude, I'm putting this kid on this whiskey live stream through, putting him through his paces. Good Lord. Tight Cuts, thank you for your pours and info. I do my best talking about whiskey. Thank you for hanging out for the super chat. And cheers to you, Richie Z. Good to see your name popping up in the chat. That Frey Ranch is spectacular, especially with a little bit of water in it. And I have to get my hands on a current single barrel at 6 years old because the potential of this whiskey is silly. Roy N., if you win the giveaway, I will let you know. I see you're going to bed right now. And thank you for that suggestion. I believe her name was Tracy, correct? Yeah. I'll let you know if I get in to see her. Yeah. All right. I appreciate you, man. And have a good rest of your night. And I'll see you soon. One Mo Cast says, well, twist my arm out. I want to cheers, Camp. Dude, cheers to you. Thank you. $20 super chat. That's so generous. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for getting in here. Guys, it's 12:02. I went past my super chat deadline. Let's cut off the super chats now. Let's do these two giveaways. And then I'm going to taste a few more whiskeys, and then I'm going to go to bed because I'm a little tipsy. I'm going to admit it. I'm a little tipsy right now. We got two more to taste. I don't know if they're going to be of any interest to anybody. But I said I was going to do it, so I got to do it. All right. 57 in the chat. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Super chats are done. What do we got here? How many entries? Oh my gosh. You guys are awesome. We're going to do two giveaways tonight. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And the way I'll do it tonight is I'm going to run this through a randomizer. And I will show you the entire process. And we run the randomizer 7 times, lucky number 7 on the channel. And the first two names, 1 and 2, are the winners of the giveaway. Tonight, again, last time I'll say it, the giveaway is a 1-ounce sample of everything I drink tonight. I will also add a few really good pours from my collection, like Coy Hill or Cigar Blend, whatever. Something along those lines, at that quality, that price point. And there will be 2 winners. That also includes, of course, the Dusty that we tasted earlier. So, all right. Richie Z says, that jazz background music is nice. Thanks, Richie. I love it, man. So let me, I have the list copied. Let me pull up random.org, and I will do this giveaway in front of all of you right now. Give me 2 seconds. Got to look down to my secondary monitor down there, and it's very small. So, okay. Make sure that's the last giveaway entry. Was One Mo Cast was the last one. Boom. All right, we're good. Let me share this with you guys. Okay. Oh, crap. There we go. And let's bring that in. Okay. Oh, what did I do? There we go. So you can see random.org. The list is plugged in. All right, so like I said, we randomized 7 times, and then 1 and 2 are the winners. No duplicate winners, so we will go down as far as we need to get a second place winner. Here's 1. Oh, sorry, I got to go down to this one. There it is. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here's the last one, lucky number 7. Boom. One Mo Cast and Horses and Bourbon. So there we go. Those are the 2 winners for tonight's giveaway. That is awesome. One more cast came in here at 12:01, throwing in a super chat and won it. And Horses and Bourbon. So that is amazing. Let me give you guys my email address in the chat right now. You have to email me at drumsanddrams@gmail.com. There it is. Tell me your name, your address, and you can remind me what you won if you want. And I will get that out to you in the next 2 to 3 days. I'm not going to get behind on my giveaway shipments anymore. I promise. So there we go. One more cast says, such a great vibe. I love how streams differ from frenzy and chaotic to laid back and chill. What would you... see, that's the thing. That's an interesting comment. I don't know what my streams are. Is this laid back and chill? Because I can get a little antsy and nerd out. You know, kind of like this. Like, is this a chill stream? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, Mojo, what's up, dude? Hey, are you going to the Junkies? I think you're going to the Junkies meetup, but let me know if you are, because I cannot wait to meet you if you are. Midnight Map Madness Marauder, let's go. It's the Peter Parker whiskey. Oh, jeez. This is a chill stream, says Tim Evans. That's awesome. Congrats. Congrats to you guys who won. That's awesome. There we go. Hells yeah. Okay, let's see here. Richie says, Cam, you're laid back. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we have a couple more bottles to taste. If you got to get out of here, I know it's late. I totally understand. Usually Friday mornings for me, it's a dress rehearsal for a concert on Friday night. That's not the case this week or the next several weeks. Tonight was my last night of work for the week, so I'm hanging out. I'm late night streaming. If we get off the rails from this point forward, and if there's 3 of you in the chat, I don't give a shit. We're going to have a good night. So the chill stream is no longer chill. I'm just kidding. I can't stop belching. I got the bourbon belches. It's horrible. It's just not great. I got a flat tire today. Killed a freaking gnat. Falls into the whiskey glass. You know, it's been one of those days. Wow, those problems sounded really terrible, didn't they? Yeah, Mojo's gonna be there. Ooh, a 73 Beam and Mictor's 21. All people I see welcome to drink. Yeah, I've been thinking about what bottles I'm gonna bring to the meetup. I don't know if I'm gonna bring like a Remus Volstead or, oh man, like a cigar blend. I even thought about bringing like my 1982 Johnny Walker Scotch. I just don't know if there'd be enough appreciation for it at the meetup. I gotta bring like 2 or 3 really great bottles. I really want to, like, you know, show up and have something to offer. And yeah, I don't know. Horses and Bourbon. My dad should answer this question, not me. My dad is a guitar player. He's played guitar for 35 years, maybe. 35 feels accurate. Maybe 37. I don't want to age him. But Satriani or Vi, I don't know what my dad would say. He might say Satriani, but he might say Vi. I don't know. That's a good question, man. It's a real good question. That was hilarious, man. That was, I don't even want to say early days. I mean, well, it kind of was. That was like February of 21. So the channel had only been around for 4 months. That was early days, Drums and Drams, huh? That I hope they do that again. That was kind of fun. Like the My bedroom looked like a porn studio when we set up, and I had the robe on and the rose petals on the bed for the Valentine's Day stream. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Whew. Paul says, now the good things happen. There we go. Guys, if I end up having to pee, what do I do? Do I just go pee and leave you guys with, like, I you know what I need to make? Because normally I never have to pee on a stream. But tonight's been a different night. It's a little later. I need to make a pee video. Now, not a video of me peeing, but you know what I mean? Like a placeholder video that I can throw up and I'm going to go take a leak. I'm going to make that. I'm going to do that. Devin, I don't have a cowbell in the room with me right now, but I do have my triangles. If I ding my triangle, that's what she said, my wife might kill me. But I also could be convinced to play the triangle right now. I could do it. What's up, Toshi Bake? Tight Cuts, have you had the Johnny Walker 25 year? No way, but I would freaking love to. Oh my goodness. All right. No, bro, don't hold it. No. I'm good on the pee right now, but I just have a feeling in the next 20 to 30 it could get off. It could get a little weird. I could be really holding it in. All right. I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you think? EJ Curley single barrel or Tiger Thick? If you guys know who Brendan Schaub is, former MMA fighter, podcaster now, Joe Rogan acolyte. That's how I would maybe refer to him. Comedian, sort of. This is his whiskey, Tiger Thick. We could do that, or we could do EJ Curley single barrel. And full disclosure, before I even possibly get into the EJ Curley, this was provided to me by EJ Curley. So I have to say that. And Brian says, use the Austin Powers clip after being decryogenically frozen. Frozen. I have to find that clip. Robotic says, I say Russo pour some more Frey Ranch and pass out on stream. I don't know that I've ever gone, like, I've had a lot to drink on streams and I've done stupid shit. I've never been embarrassingly drunk. I don't think. Some streams, like on people, when there's multiple people, I've been like, but when I get off the stream, there have been a few where we hang out for 2 or 3 hours after the fact till, 3 or 4 in the morning. And I am like I've fallen out of my seat. I've knocked shit off the walls and the shelves. It's been bad. I don't want to do that publicly, though. I'm going to do both. Richie, I will do both. I just want to know what to do first, so. What's going on here? Good night to you, James, man. Cheers. Yeah, Mojo, I'm with you on this one, man. I'm the biggest Theo Von fan. Sarah and I went out to, right before COVID in 2020. It was early February 2020. Sarah and I did this cool trip where we went to Hollywood for 2 nights, I think 2 nights. And we went to the Comedy Store one night, and we went to the Improv the next night. And the Improv was Theo's show. It was Theo Von. I think it was a Theo Von and Friends show. And Trevor Wilson, not Trevor Wilson, Jesus Christ. That's the Bourbon Wrench. Trevor Wallace opened up for Theo and a few others. And like Sarah and I walked out front of the Improv in Hollywood, and like we came out the door, like the entrance, or like the side entrance, I guess, where the bar is, and we walked to the left out to the front of it, and Theo was just standing there by himself. I was like, holy shit, and we went up and talked to Theo, and he was like, hey, I'm Theo, and I'm like, I know. like it was, I don't get that starstruck usually, and I was just completely out of my element. And he was so cool. Took a selfie. We talked for a couple of minutes. It wasn't just like a hi-bye situation. And Theo Von was one of the coolest and clearly best dudes. And then we went to the Comedy Store. I ended up accidentally having bought tickets to the next week at the Comedy Store. And I was like, at the door, they're like, these aren't the right tickets. And I begged them. And they let us in. And they were very, very cool about it, which was awesome. And then, the next 5 nights we were in Vegas. And 5 nights in Vegas is way too long. I'm just saying. Tyka says, don't get like Jason on Master Drums. Talking about his Elijah Craig fall, I'm assuming. Horses and Bourbon don't win very often. Think I'm humbled to win on a show. Dude, congratulations. And make sure you send me an email, drumsanddrams@gmail.com. Make sure you send me that email with your address. All right, so we're going to get into EJ Curley. Yeah. Are we going to do that first? Proof-wise, we should do Tiger Thick. Let's do Tiger Thick. You know what? I'll let the EJ Curley open up. Let's do Tiger Thick. Yeah, Richie Z. Ain't that the dang truth? Vegas should absolutely be 3 nights max. Yeah. My parents love Vegas, and I'm glad that they have something like that they regularly do and they love, which is going to Vegas. And I had a great time. We saw Carrot Top, gambled, it was a lot of fun. They go out there a lot, and I'm happy that they have that. But 3 nights for me is like, maybe even 2 nights. I can lose enough money in those nights to be good and have my experience. Tim, no, not working. I was supposed to do a gig in Vegas a few years ago, but COVID got me. So, haven't worked there yet. Which is just for pleasure. So, let's talk about this very quickly. Tiger Thick with 3 C's. It's the stupidest fucking name for a whiskey on planet Earth. But it falls in line with Brendan Schaub's brand, his Thick Boy brand. All right? Tiger Thick, the first review that came out was Ed from the Rock Gut Review. Ed got his hands on it. I don't even really know how. He worked for a liquor store, so possibly because of that connection, knowing a distributor. I can't remember exactly how he got his hands on it. And then he passed that bottle off, I believe, to Matt Porter, who is also an MMA fan. Obviously knows Brendan Schaub because of that, and so reviewed the whiskey. And Matt Porter's review was, bar none, the best review this whiskey will ever get in terms of production and Brendan Schaub relatability. He went hard on the Reddit references. It was great. What's interesting about this whiskey is, like, look, Brendan may have sampled it throughout the process of somebody else blending this whiskey for him and said, like, I like that, I don't like that, whatever. Brendan is somewhat of a whiskey fan. I would not say enthusiast per se, I guess. I wouldn't say enthusiast. He's a fan. He likes Japanese. He likes whatever venues provide him with in his green room, from what I can tell by his posts. And because of that, he'll drink Japanese, bourbon, rye, whatever. And this Tiger Thick is a blend of bourbon and Japanese whiskey, finished in a Mizunara barrel. And Mizunara is not a common finish. It's a tricky barrel to work with, from what I've been told from distilleries. The ultimate blend of this is an Indiana straight bourbon, and it's transparent, actually, which is great. On the back, 80% of the blend is an Indiana straight bourbon. I don't know if you really should call that bourbon or... Yeah. 99% corn. right? So it's a 99% corn whiskey, matured in American oak barrels. 80% of the blend is that, and 20% is a Japanese whiskey, which is a 55% grain and 45% malted barley, which is matured in Mizunara oak barrels. And then it seems like on the front, the whole thing is finished additionally in a Mizunara oak barrel, but that could be misleading. I'm not entirely sure. So we're going to taste this. Mostly 99% corn bourbon, 80% of that, and then 20% Japanese. Let's see. Bubble bath. I started late, so I'm still on. The giveaway's done. So at this point, it's just degenerates and me, also a degenerate, hanging out and drinking whiskey. Because it's Thursday, but for me it's Friday. So if you got to go, you got to go. I'll watch the chat number dwindle until it gets so low that I feel bad about myself, and then I end the stream. That's the plan. Toshi Bake says, Vegas has a lot to offer. Gambling, great food, great spas, shows, partying, clubs. Just got to balance those, and it's a great trip. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I just gambled. I just sat at the tables too much, and that was not great. I would do it differently if I went. And yeah, I want to go again. Sarah is not a big fan. Sarah is admittedly not a big fan. So maybe I got to go with the boys, as they say. Bubble Bass says, I missed where you got the bottle. I thought it never actually made it to distribution. It did. It did in the last couple of months make it into distribution. Where did I get this? I got this from Bourbon Outfitters. So, like, it did definitely make it to distribution if they got it, Audio Junkie just finished the dram. I would have to say it has had about 2 or 3 months of bottle air. Which bottle is that, Audio Junkie? Yeah, if you guys have not subscribed to Bubble Bath Bourbon, go subscribe. Thank you, Richie Z, for the shout out. Tight Cuts. The playlist is just something I put together from the royalty-free music service that I use for my videos, which is called Epidemic Sound. So you're not going to find it anywhere else. It's royalty-free, but you do have to pay for it for the rights to use the royalty-free music in your videos. Nick, oh, dude, Matt's still hanging out, dude. Good to see you. Thank you for still being here. Holy shit. Bourbon Outfitter sells a ton of that stuff. Yeah. Cam, have you tried the Wilderness Trail 8-year? No. I went down to Kentucky 2 weeks in a row, which I go to Kentucky like 3-4 times a year. I went down 2 weeks in a row. First week was Bardstown Bourbon Company. I got Discovery 8 for Cullen and Matt's Blend. And then the next week, I went down to the Neely Family Distillery and got Hidden Barn. And both times, I had to drive down early as shit and then drive right back because I had stuff to get done. And Wilderness Trail is like, where did the first time I went to Bardstown, which is closer to Wilderness Trail. I was going to swing over, and it just wasn't going to work. And then the Neely Family Distillery is not closer. It's much further away. It's across the border of Ohio and Kentucky. I just wasn't able to get it. I really want to try the 8-year Wilderness Trail. I just haven't had a chance to get it, and I don't imagine there's any left. But they were letting people buy like a lot. It was either 6 or 12 bottles at the distillery, which is significant. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get to taste it, but it is what it is. Oh, Audio Junkie was talking about Barrel 31. Interesting. Richie with an interesting question. Is it better to use credit card, debit, or PayPal for bourbon online stores? I don't know. I just whatever has the most percentage cash back credit card, you know what I mean? Like I have like a 2% cash back or 3%, whatever it is. I'm going to use that, but I don't know that there's any difference otherwise. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had the Glendalough. Is that how you say it? Glendalough? The Irish. I haven't had... No, you know what? I think Kilco sent me a sample of that. I'd have to go back and check what the finish was, but I thought it was the Mizunara. The Rabbit Hole Mizunara, I tasted that. I have a review of that recorded. I just need to put it out there. And that might be it. Yeah, Adam S. I bought 2 bottles of that today. I wanted to buy more, but I bought 2. I'm going to crack one, and I will probably give the other one away here on the channel, which would be it's the highest proof Lucky 7 I've ever seen. I think it's 136.4. It crashed the website. Did you see that? I couldn't get on the website for several minutes. And then I finally got through, and I figured it would be sold out. It was still there, so I bought 2. Yeah. Ooh, robotics doing the trail for the first time ever next month. That's going to be fun. All right. I got to get some water in me. I'm getting I haven't even had a sip in quite a while, but I'm drunker. So I need to have some water. Where's my water? It's there. Oh, wow. Aaron says the 8-year This is Wilderness Trail was everywhere today on my hunting in Lexington, as was Hidden Barn. I have a free day tomorrow, and I have a flat tire on my car, and I really need to get it fixed, but I could take my wife's car to Lexington and hunt and buy that if it's still going to be there, but I don't know if that's responsible. But I have the day off. Damn it. All right. Audio Junkie says inebriated. Let's get into this Tiger Thick, which is the dumbest fucking name for a whiskey on planet Earth. We can all agree to that. Whether you love or hate Brendan Schaub, I think he gets too much undue hate and just people being dickheads on Reddit. I can't stand that. It's fun to make fun of people. It's fun to allow yourself to be made fun of and to join in and have a good time. But the Reddit community around Brendan Schaub is it's just stupid to me. Adam says your wife could wait around for the tow truck. Oh, Jesus. One more cast. I don't have a donut. I don't even know why I don't. I've had a lot of flat tires, though. I feel like this is plaguing me over the last couple of years, so. Dude, Daniel, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm still on. I started at 10, and we're 2 hours, 25 minutes in, but regular live stream is usually this long, maybe up to 2:45, so, you know. Yeah, bubble bath. You're right. Woo! Woo! Tiger Thick is weird. That is freaking weird, man. Yeah. Interesting. The nose on this whiskey, unfortunately, is interesting. It's very alcoholic. I have to say that right away. It's 96 proof, I should say. Yeah, 48% ABV. It's very alcoholic on the nose, even for this lower proof. It is the most interesting mixture of strawberry candy, sweaty sock, bitter citrus and apple peel, and white pepper. But there's something unfortunately endearing about it that makes you go, huh. Like if you smelled this and you didn't know it was 80%, 99% corn Indiana whiskey and 20% Japanese whiskey, if you just smelled it and you're someone who appreciates not only like bourbon, but also maybe a little Scotch or Irish, you would smell this and go, oh, okay, that's weird. And that's exactly what I get. It's interesting. It's so floral. But it cuts through the bullshit. Like, if I smelled it, if I was outside drinking Tiger Thick, I think I would smell it and be like, yeah, this makes sense. This is what I should drink when I'm outside. So, there's something about this. It's not entirely offensive. I'm not saying it's good, but there actually might be a time and place for this. For the price point, I don't know. Also, there's another bug. It's on my keyboard. I'm going to kill it right now. Sorry. All right, so that's a wrap. I don't know where it went, but that's okay. Yeah, literally sweaty sock, Audio Junkie. Richie, I've only watched... I certainly know stuff in whiskey. I don't really watch a lot of the... I mean, I don't watch a lot of anybody's content, unfortunately, because when you start making videos, you start watching a lot less. I don't know where that dead bug went, by the way. If it ended up in my glass again, that would be interesting. The only person whose content I watch everything of is probably Matt Porter, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, that bug is still kicking. Mother effer. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Yeah, and I do think indoor and outdoor spirits is actually good. ADHD, dude, I'm actually like this is the thing, man. It's like sour strawberries. The more I'm getting into it, I'm not completely offended by this whiskey. I think there's a time and a place for it. So, the fact of the matter is this, like, Brendan's name is associated with this. He had, I would imagine, jack shit to do with actually blending it. They probably sent him some samples. How does this taste? And he was probably like, this is great. Okay. And what was probably cheap to blend? 99% Indiana bourbon and some Japanese whiskey, Like, I would imagine that was probably pretty cheap. And the price point on this is expensive. It's not worth the money, which is like, I feel like it was 80 or 90 bucks when I bought it. But if you're a Brendan Schaub fan and you're not just in it to make fun of him, you might buy this whiskey. It's, yeah, I don't know. I'm not shilling for Brendan Schaub, by the way. I just want you guys to know that. Wigmaster, no, I did not see the Curiosity Public Wild Turkey drink through. No. Bubble Bath, does Mizunara come through at all? Honestly, I have not had enough Mizunara to understand the effect of that cask. So I just have to admit that. So I don't know entirely. And Matt, I appreciate that you use 3 C's. 3 and only 3. No more, no more, no less. I do appreciate that. Robotic asks, does it taste like a body shop tried to make whiskey but forgot to close the door when they're clear coating a 2014 Chrysler 300? Maybe. The power of suggestion says probably. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get to some EJ Curley single barrel. Again, I should reiterate, this was provided to me free of charge. A half full bottle of the single barrel was provided to me from somebody who is involved with EJ Curley. All right. So that's out of the way. This particular single barrel Wait, yeah. It is 121.5 proof. Distilled and bottled in Kentucky. And I don't know what the sourcing is for EJ Curly, and they didn't tell me. So if you guys know, please, shout that out in the comments. Audio Junkie, looks like you were smiling more. I'm a little more red in the face, and I might be smiling more. Wigmaster, they were really blown away by the rare breed non-chill filtered. I am also really blown away by that. And look, I know that you can say, oh, if it's not that much different than rare breed, or if you did it in a blind, you wouldn't know. I don't agree with that. And maybe it's because the batch of rare breed that I own is possibly not a great batch. The rare breed non-chill filtered is unbelievably good. No, you don't sip it and have Russell's 13 results, but you sip it and you have much better results than rare breed, at least the batch that I own. It's amazing stuff. And I don't want to go on a rant, but I'm tired of people acting like I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that alone. Apparently, Curly will not tell anyone. Well, I'm going to taste it and see what I think. The color looks fairly nice. 121.5 proof, from what I said. Right? Yeah, 121.5. Let's get a nose on this EJ Curly single barrel. Sorry, gotta get a little water going on here. All right, a little bit of how would you even what do you call that? Like brittle caramel? Yeah, like a brittle caramel note. It's a little nutty as well. Yeah. Oh, you know what this reminds me? Speaking of ADHD whiskey, I don't know if Matt's still here. Hang on. This reminds me of Matt's barrel pick, which is supposedly, maybe, possibly Willet juice. Hang on. What's the proof? 117.16. That's close. This I don't want to say that's what this is. Oh, they're damn close. They're really close. And the other distillery I would put in the mix of what this EJ Curly is smelling like would be Wild Turkey. There's a lot of cinnamon on the nose and a little bit of nuttiness. But something that feels maybe, well, I could see this being like turkey or Willet. But does turkey even source out? That tastes like wild turkey. That tastes like wild freaking turkey. Oh, that's interesting, man. I'm going to taste this Willet. I have to taste Matt's Willet pick or barrel pick that is possibly Willet. Let's put it that way. This is interesting. Wow. All right. Oh, no. This is the same shit. This has got to be the same shit. And the reason I say that is not only because of how these smell side by side, but guys, how often does Wild Turkey source out their stuff, right? I mean, the Whiskey Barons collection, the Saffel, the Bond and Lillard. I mean, they did it for that, right? They have possibly sourced out to Bardstown Bourbon Company and maybe others for some of those blending operations, but I feel like the Willet juice that people have been not confident on, but mostly confident on, like the Hirsch picks, those 6-year, 9-month approximately Hirsch picks. Who else? Like Barrel, who have, supposed Willet juice. They've been sourcing out more of that stuff, it seems, recently. And so I would imagine a new brand like EJ Curly would be maybe more apt to get something like that that's seemingly more available on the market than Wild Turkey. And these smell very similar. That's not the point of this tasting, by the way. Like, I could be completely wrong, and I'm open to that. Matt's barrel pick, Willet, is a little more floral and green, whereas the EJ Curly is a bit more classic caramel cinnamon. Old Kirk, says Daniel. Great call out. This is interesting. This is really interesting. The point is to review EJ Curly single barrel right here, right? It could be the same stuff as this pick from barrel, or let's say it's Willet, or it could be Wild Turkey. It could be either of those things. It smells really good. It actually shows a little more age than Matt's barrel pick, interestingly. Yeah, there's a little bit more of a chocolatey, oaky component to it, but everything else is right there. The cinnamon notes, the kind of like bright cherry, green apple peel, those kinds of things. And Matt's is an 8-year pick. That's old. I mean, for what it is, Very interesting. Bubble bath, I don't think it is. I'm not finding one. Wow. The first time I tasted this, guys, I don't think I was that blown away. After tasting this right now, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Audio Junkie, the barrel product on camera is a pick that Matt Porter, ADHD Whiskey, did a few months back. It's an 8-year pick. 117 proof, basically. Presumably from Willet. I'm going to taste it. That's very different on the palate, actually. The nose is closer than the palate to the EJ Curly single barrel. Guys, I think the EJ Curly is Wild Turkey. And I think Matt's pick is what people have been saying, will it? I can't believe that. I can't believe that. That tastes so good. I know, Matt. I know you never said will it. I know. The secret of the booze. I know. I'll sign an NDA if you tell me. I promise. I'll do it. I don't... Wigmaster, I'm going to be honest with you. If this bourbon is less than 8 years old, then holy shit. I mean, this seems like an 8 to 10-year-old bourbon. This pick. Or this single barrel from EJ Curly. So, I'm not... I mean, I'm impressed. Robotic... I don't have... I mean, this is 121.5 proof, and that's the only spec that I have. This... If I had to bet money tonight, and I could be totally wrong, I'm going to bet Wild Turkey. 100%. Hang on one second. The only Wild Turkey product I have in this room is this, because the rest are in my basement. So let me pull this out. This is the Rare Breed Non-Chill Filtered. Slightly lower proof than the EJ Curly Single Barrel, but probably higher age. That's interesting. All right, the jury's still out. The jury is still out. The EJ Curly could be Willet or Wild Turkey. I do not know. I don't know. It's a tough one. Yeah, tight cuts. I don't know. I don't know what the consistency of the single barrels are like. I obviously don't know where they're sourcing it from. So, Tim says turkey in a box flex. I paid secondary for it, so it would, in my mind, it's like it's a flex if I got it for retail, but I don't get anything for retail anymore, so it just sucks. Yeah, the barrel does start with a Z, so what does that mean, Mr. Cocktail? What does that mean? All barrel tells you is a state of distillation, says Matt Porter. Daniel says, so should I snag this EJ Curly for 120.6? That's 5 proof. Oh, no. That's only 1 proof point lower. Sorry. A little dyslexia kicked in. For 72 plus shipping. Hang on. To me, it's still a little rough around the edges. Wait a second. Okay. Guys, I'm not like a Kentucky connoisseur of geography and or rickhouses and distilleries. I'll just be honest with you. The band around the neck of this bottle says Bluegrass, Boone's Knoll, Camp Nelson. Is there anything to that would point me in a direction? Obviously, Camp Nelson points me to Wild Turkey. They have, rick houses that are labeled Camp Nelson. Bluegrass, Boone's Knoll, Camp Nelson. What does that mean to you? People that probably know Kentucky better than I do. Because me, an unknowing person of what I'm reading, I see Camp Nelson, I go Wild Turkey in my brain. Mr. Cocktail says Z codes are supposed to be Willet. Okay. ADH says could also be Bardstown Bourbon Company. No way. I think I do know their distillate. At this point, I don't think that's the case. But I could be totally wrong. The Curly and Matt's Willet pick, barrel pick, are close. And the Curly and the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Non-Chill Filtered are also very close. So, I don't know what to make of that. Daniel, do I think the EJ Curly at your level? I kind of know the kind of bottles that you have, samples you've sent me. Do I think the EJ Curly is a pickup for you? I don't think so. I don't think so right now. That might, if I put this next to a regular rare breed, which is in my basement, and if this beat it, I would say yes. But I don't know right now. Yeah, and that's the thing, Matt. This is why I would be uncertain about making that claim, is because they have so many things going on there. But I don't know. So when I put Matt's barrel pick next to Wild Turkey Rare Breed Non-Chill Filtered, the Rare Breed has so much more age that it completely separates itself. I think EJ Curly is Wild Turkey. Final answer. I think EJ Curly tonight for me right now is Wild Turkey. I think the age is probably 8 years old. It's a little rough around the edges, but it's that Wild Turkey cinnamon and cherry with a little bit of a cleaner oak profile. There's no funky oak on this single barrel. I know it's a single barrel, so it could change. Your mileage may vary. Whereas the Rare Breed Non-Chill Filtered has funky oak on it. No way. Mr. Cocktail, no way. It's like 5 or 6 at most. Adam S. says they're constructing their distillery at Camp Nelson. Right. That makes sense. All right, guys. So in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm gonna be honest with you. Is there a last whiskey that you guys want me to taste and talk about before I get off here tonight? If there's not, totally no big deal. I understand. If there's something anybody really wants to see, let me know. I might have to go pee beforehand. Probably lose like half the stream. And that's fine. That's cool. I don't have I have to urinate video ready to play for all of you. to keep you busy while I urinate. But if I did, I would play it. But I don't. So if I do have to do that, and there's another bottle I should talk about, you might have to imagine that video for like 78 seconds. Bubble bath. I have a Frey Ranch rye. It's in my basement. That would add 30 seconds to my 78-second urination. That's probably going to have to take the place. Take the place. Yeah, I'm clearly slightly inebriated. I do have the Frey Ranch rye that Paul Graham sent me probably 18 months ago, something like that. Let's see. ADHD says Curly has a 6.5-year product. Interesting. Tight cuts. I do not have this. Daniel says, hit that bottle of water. Yeah, I'm going to probably appreciate that in the morning. Tim, you know, I will pay secondary for bottles, as many people know. Part of it is my own selfish, like, FOMO and curiosity. Part of it is I want to be able to talk about it on the channel, talk intelligently about new releases, be in the know. The Smoke Wagon Rise on secondary were like $700 plus, $700 to $800 maybe. For me to be relevant on those Rise in my mind, I had to buy all of them. And I think that was 4 different char levels, which is like $2,800, and I just couldn't do it. So, yeah. If somebody out there in the whiskey world has all 4 char levels, those different batches, I would totally buy samples off of them and do a live or a review of all of those, but I just can't do it. So I didn't get any of those Ryes. I either want 0 or all of them. That's the way I feel about it. Because, like, frankly, it's not a relevant release. So few people are going to have it that talking about it is a very niche audience, or just people that want to see whiskey content. But I can't afford to do that. Holy shit, dude. You popped yours in the store and you have a sample? I'm not going to say no, Tim. I'm not going to... Oh my God, dude. Robotics says the experimental rye is a boner in a bottle. Second best for... Stop it. Stop. Why are you telling me this? No. Oh my God, Cheech has one too. Oh. Okay. I'm going to take 78 seconds. I'll do my best. I'm going to see if I can do this in 78 seconds. I'm going to pee so amazingly right now. I will be right back. If I lose 23 followers or live streamers right now, that's fine. I have to go pee so bad. I will be right back. All right. I literally said 78 seconds, and I walked in here at 78 seconds. So I feel like that was okay. Let's do this. Yeah, Cheech, I left your pretty face on the screen, man. Daniel says, crank the coat. You know what? Next time, I have to remember to crank up the tunes. All right, let's see. Trev says, go to bed. Hey, nerd. Dude, I know you got the COVID. I know you wussied out and you got the COVID. But you said we were going to go live on your channel. We still haven't done that. So when are we going live on your channel, nerd? Dude, my bladder is so fresh now. It's not beaten down by this day. I'm all healed, nerd. Then let's go live, you biatch. What are we doing? He ain't coming back. 70-second pee break. Don't change that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Cheech says, I need to scroll up to his conversation with Tim. Hang on. What am I scrolling up for? Oh, my God. He's halfway there. Jesus. Cheech and Tim, if you guys hook it up, that would be ridiculous, man. I'm like a Smoke Wagon fanboy on some of these special things. After I got the Smoke Wagon single barrel back there, this hot and spicy, rare and limited single barrel. Let's see if it'll focus on that. Oh, geez. From a giveaway in March. This instantly changed me. I like their small batch. Uncut, unfiltered was not really my thing. Straight bourbon I thought was a good value. These single barrels are, I don't want to say the R word. They're so good. They're stupid good. That's all that needs to be said. Oh my God. I can't go live tomorrow, says Trev, but maybe next Friday, hit me up. Let's plan something, as in, let's just drink on a dude, I'm down to just drink on a Friday. That's every Friday. Yeah, robotic. By the way, speaking of Smoke Wagon, I just acquired Matt Porter. By the way, this is your mother effing fault. I just acquired a Desert Jewel. And I don't know when I'm going to open it. But I just got a Desert Jewel locally at a very good price. And it has to be open for a special occasion, but Matt sent me a Desert Jewel in a blind one time. He's also sent me an Old Fitz 15, which is another bucket list bottle that I'm going to have to pay too much money for. Matt, it's all your fault, but there we go. Bubble Bath, I have not had the younger version of the uncut. Yeah, Matt, when you sent me Desert Jewel in that blind, I don't remember when, that was a while ago. Blew me away. The Old Fitz 15 also blew me away. Cheech, I paid a few $100s. I paid $5. I paid $5 for it. But secondary on Desert Jewel is $7.50. So, based on the fact that it's not being made anymore, $5, I felt like that was an okay price. I know a lot of people are like, no whiskey is worth $500. Why would you ever pay $500 for a bottle? I completely understand your sentiment. I don't disagree with you. But I know the reality of the situation. The people I know, the connections I have, I know I will not find a Desert Jewel for less than that. So then it becomes the question of, do I want it or am I okay living without it? And I personally, after tasting it from Matt, I said, I want it. And so that becomes the best case scenario. And I think we need to be more honest about those kind of discussions with secondary stuff. Like, we should just talk about it, Yeah, scarcity, right? But I've had a lot of aged MGP, and from what I remember from the sample of Desert Jewel that I had, it was more advanced than most aged MGP that I've ever had. Robotic, that's an amazing find. Yeah, I mean, this is a 9-year single barrel, right? And then when you drink it, yeah, that's insane. I won this in Aaron's giveaway. I paid $100 for this bottle. It immediately auctioned for $1,100. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm drinking it. It's an awesome bottle. I love it so much. I know I will never own another one because when the first one auctioned at $1,100, I was like, I'll never pay $1,100 for that bottle. If that's where the starting sell price is for this, I'm out. So I'll never have another one. So why not just drink it whenever I want it? And when it goes away, it goes away. Share it with Sarah. I've sent 5 or 6 people samples of this stuff. And that's a great way for a $100 bottle of rare whiskey to go out, in my opinion. Yeah, Horses and Bourbon. I paid $300 for Coy Hill. I've only seen 2 bottles. I bought them both. I don't blame you. Secondary for a long time was like $450, $500. $300. I wouldn't bat an eye at buying both of them because it's like the reality is it's not going to drop below that. If you really want it and you'll never find it otherwise, and you really want it, it's your money. That's the way you're going to have to acquire that bottle. I think Coy Hill is a fantastic... Matt Porter sent me... God, Matt. It's like... I keep bringing a Matt Porter because he's awesome. He sent me my bottle of Coy Hill. It's an amazing barrel. Fudge brownies all day. And I would pay $300 for it. I mean, it just... Bourbon is a premium product. MSRP does not reflect the full value of a bottle. It's whatever value you hold in your own opinion. Damn, Trev, going hard, man. Daniel, I agree. Like Coy Hill, if secondary on Coy Hill was around like $250, $300, it would be more palatable for me. I don't think I would pay. I like, and there's a reason I don't have a backup for this bottle. Like, I'm not going to pay $425 for a Coy Hill. Yeah. So I think we need to be more honest about secondary conversations around a lot of these bottles. We don't need to pull any punches. We don't need to bullshit people, but we do need to be more honest about these things. And frankly, like, a lot of people have hookups with stores, with friends, with whatever, owners, distilleries. I don't have any of that. And so if I want a rare bottle in the state of Ohio, I either wake up at like 3 in the morning and literally sleep in a parking lot in line, or I just pay a higher price. I will wait for 2 hours in line for a bottle if I have the time. I'm not going to wait 6. I'm not going to wait 10. And I'm not going to sleep in a motherfucking tent in a parking lot. That, like, at that point, 10 hours of waiting in a parking lot the night before, miserable, in a tent. It's not fun. You're not going to convince me that's fun. Give that an hourly rate of $25 an hour. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you want to give that hourly rate. That bottle of whiskey is not worth it in my mind. And I'm going to pay secondary if I really want it. You might disagree with that, and that is okay. It depends on your personal stand, your financial situation, a lot of things. For everybody. Yeah. Trev says, I hate to say this, but I've drank more early times bottled and bond than I've drank any other bottle since it showed up in my state. $16 all day long. It's basically 80%. Yeah, I mean, these days, I'm not drinking a lot of budget bottles, and I should be. But if I were, early times or like Cooper's Craft 100 would be on that list. And yeah, man. Yeah, Richie, I know, man. And Tim, you're right, man. Like, for the channel to grow, the channel is not consistent about dropping content. The goal is to become more consistent. Last couple of weeks have not been consistent, but the last 6 to 8 weeks before that were awesome, like for the channel and the growth and consistency and live streams and everything else. And like, in my mind, honesty is the best policy. And I do want the first review of bottles if I can have it, because it helps the channel grow. I won't put out a first review if I think it's going to be disingenuous to the bottle. Like, if I open a bottle and I smell it and I think to myself, you know what? In 2 weeks, this might be a different story. I might wait. I also, if it's 4 weeks, I might say, look, this might need a little more time, but I'm going to review it right now. And if it feels like there's no hope for it, I'll review it right then. You know, it just depends on the situation. But yeah, I mean, like, why shouldn't anyone say, if I get the first review out, of course it's a good thing. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. There are other elements to that from other channels that I'm not going to go there on. But let's see. Grab. I gotta not put these on the screen before I read them. Tight cuts. I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out. What am I even drinking? Water? God, the EJ Curly is pretty darn good for what it is. Also, busting out the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Wild Turkey Rare Breed non-chill filtered and pouring this to compare it to the EJ Curly. This stuff is insanely good. There is such an amazing aged oak component to this with all of those orange notes from Wild Turkey. That stuff is amazing. Oh my God. Dude, Trev, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you know, Trev, my ultimate goal is to turn what I'm doing here with Drums and Drams into a very viable part-time job. And I don't say that in a way of like money grab. Oh, I'm going to do shitty barrel picks. I'm going to do, you know, clickbait all the time for ad rev and views. Like, clearly I haven't done that, and that's not what I'm in this for. But I have found through whiskey that I have a knack for nosing and tasting things. And I'm confident in saying that now. And making money at something that you're good at is not a sin if you do it in a genuine way, in my opinion. So, like, I want this to turn into something that makes me a side hustle amount of money, or a part-time job amount of money, whatever you want to call it. And I'd still do it with integrity and quality all the way. If it becomes more than that, that would be amazing. If it never reaches the goal, that's fine. I love doing this. I love whiskey. I love being here on YouTube and doing all this stuff. And part of it is like, you have to be realistic, and if you get a first review out, you get more views and you grow the channel, you know, but I'm not going to do it at the expense of a good review of the whiskey. Matt, what did I say, dude? What did I say about you? Yeah, Adam, this is something I know that I lack because I haven't been putting out as much content as I want. I want to start getting out reviews of just like everyday releases, like bottles that have been around for decades. Just put those reviews out and talk about them. I know that I've been lacking on that. It gets so easy to bog yourself down in the special releases because there's so many special releases now. None of them are special anymore. It's just so many releases. So if you do 1, 2, even 3 reviews a week, you're never going to be there on any of these bottles. So for me, I'm like, you know what? Let's find a way to parse this out, and that's my goal kind of moving forward. All right, let's see. Bubble Vest, does that belt, or that belt back there, proves it. Haha. I mean, in some ways, I know, like, the Matt Madness thing is silly in the sense that, like, we're literally tasting whiskey on YouTube. You know, like that, just saying that out loud. I'm tasting whiskey on YouTube and trying to identify its characteristics. Like, that's a silly thing. But I actually take a lot of pride in the work that went into Matt Madness and the training I've done over the last 2 years. And, like, if I'm honest with you guys, the first year of the pandemic, I drank a shitload of whiskey, and to a point that was not good. And for me personally, like, I masked that in the fact that, like, oh, I'm just doing this to train my palate. And yeah, I was literally training my palate. And then you would get to a point where you're so fucked up on a given night that you stop training your palate and you start being just hammered and drinking. That happens, you know? So you have to find that balance, and I feel like I've found that now with how I operate. But in the beginning of it, you know, that was where I was, and I take a lot of pride in what I've been able to get out of Matt Madness, because I think it's been a good learning experience for me, and I just put in a lot of work. So the belt to me means something in a sense that it's like I train my palate for this. And training your palate for proof, age, distillery is different than training it for tasting notes, and it's different than training it for what is a good barrel from this barrel pick. Like, all of these are different skills, and that needs to be very clear. Just because I can identify characteristics in a Matt Madness competition might not mean I can identify certain tasting notes, and might not mean I can identify the best barrel out of a 5-barrel lot on a barrel pick. I'm trying to, get better at all of those things, but the reality is they are different skill sets. And then if you put me in a situation of, like, you have to talk about distillation or talk about this or that in a business sense at a distillery, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's all different. But I was proud of the Matt Madness thing, and I did train for that, and I trained my palate. So, anyways. Trev is hammered. I love it. Yeah, thank you, Horses and Bourbon. It's not silly. The work involved is huge. I'm happy I won a gift. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, and I'm excited to send you some stuff. Trev says, as long as you got equally as late as you trained, you win. I imagine he means you win. Otherwise, you're a Mozart nerd. See you on my live stream in a couple weeks. Yeah, you will, biatch. You will see me there. Yeah. And I in the beginning of the channel, I always knew that I would wait on reviewing Buffalo Trace, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Old Forester, because I wanted to wait until the channel was big enough to where those videos could possibly take off at a big level. And then as I've grown, I'm like, there's so many special releases, I'll just wait for those. But maybe I do need to put out some more like evergreen content on bottles that are readily available. Oh shit, Trev is challenging me to a blind flight on his channel. Trev, man, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We gotta find somebody to send us these samples, put together a flight with some good questions, and I'm gonna whoop your ass. Sorry, I'm just kidding, guys. Trev might spank me. But Trev, we've competed a few times now. I'm just saying. Matt, you can send the flight if you want. Whose channel are we doing this? Matt, you said you wanted to do something with me and Trev, maybe on your channel. Are we doing this? Where are we doing this? Trev's channel, your channel, my channel? If you're going to send the flight, dude, let's do it. Trev has to agree. I'll do a Jim Beam White. Richie, can I tell you this? I have never in my life purchased Jim Beam White Label. And if I've tasted it, it's been 10 years ago. No, well, maybe. I was 18. Probably 10 years ago. Like, I've never, by my own accord, tasted Jim Beam White Label. Dude, Matt, I love you too. Matt, dude, I just want to meet you. I can't wait to meet you in freaking Michigan next weekend. I cannot wait for the Junkies meetup. I'm so fucking jazzed up. I cannot wait. I want to bring so many crazy bottles. And also, we just got to be in the same place together and do like videos or streams or something. I don't even know I don't even know, but we got to do it. All right, what's going on here? Mr. Lopez, guys, what should I drink next? I have all these pours on the table. That's great. I want to pour something new. It's probably going to be my last pour of the night because I just slurred all of those words together. It's probably going to be my last pour of the night. There, that's better enunciation. What am I drinking? I have every Elijah Craig back from 2017 in front of me right here. And then I have everything you see behind me, including this giant Penelope shelf, right here, right here. Clearly, I'm a Penelope fan. Oh shit, Jason is jumping in, dude. Damn, Jay, what time is it, guys? Oh my god, it's 1:25 on the East Coast. What is up, Jason? Dude, yeah, I started late tonight, 2 hours late, so I'm still up, and now I'm just like shooting the shit, man. But, you know, it is what it is. So, I don't even know. It's a work night, but not really. This ended my week tonight, so I'm drinking as late as I can. I got to get back. What did I have on the screen a second ago? Right. Mr. Lopez said, is training your palate only useful for preparing for blinds, or should the average drinker who's probably never going to do a blind also train? I never trained my palate in anticipation for blinds. I trained it because I wanted to... I will talk about this in a video at some point, like down the line, but the reason I got into whiskey for a few reasons. Like, I mean, I enjoyed the flavor. I would drink Woodford over ice for a long time. That was like my go-to. But I remember going to bars and they would give me a whiskey list. And a lot of these bars were like whiskey bars that I would end up at. And they would have, let's say, 50 whiskeys on the list. And I would read it and I'd be like, I'd read Booker's, Blanton's, Jefferson's, Buffalo. You know, I'm reading all these names, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, these names of dudes that have been dead for 200 years, 100 years, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I don't know what any of this shit means. I got self-conscious. Like, I want to know what these lists mean. That was number one. And then number two, there was almost a challenge. People were trying to give me scotch. I would go on tour, I would play gigs, and I would hang out with some people afterwards, and they would try to buy me, like, fancy scotches, or I would go to their house, and they'd be like, I have these whiskeys. And everybody was drinking scotch for some reason that I was hanging out with. And I was like, I don't know anything about this. It tastes like horrible. Band-Aids, you know, whatever else. Everyone was giving me Lafroig, Lagavulin, Ardbeg, even Johnny Walker, like peated stuff. And I just got self-conscious, you know, and I wanted to build my palate because I wanted to understand what this shit was. That's why I did it in the first place. And then I started into the whiskey tube thing, and I was like, I think I have something to say about these whiskeys. At that point, I trained my palate much harder just because I wanted to be informed. It was never about blind flights, though. The Matt Madness thing ended up making it about blind flights for me, which was a lot of fun, you know? Daniel, you have any ECBP? Yeah, I got the one, and that's all Jason's fault. God damn it, Jason. How much have I spent on that 139.4 proof? Like $1,400. A couple of bottles of that. Oh, dude, no Waffle House in Michigan? Oh my God. All right. What am I pouring, guys? What's the final pour of the night? Daniel P says Elijah Craig Pirate Bottle. Oof, what are we doing? Matt says my nickname was Waffle House back in Cub Scouts. I can't believe there's no Waffle House in Michigan. That is insane. Smoke Wagon Small Batch. That's in my basement. What else new do I have, says Daniel P. Dude, my favorite new bottle is Sherwood, the 14-year MGP rye. It smacks the shit out of the Mount Vernon 14-year from that Heritage Collection. That Sherwood is possibly my favorite rye I've ever had. Robotic says, go the other way. Pour trash. Do I need to get the blue run? Oh my God. This room, I try to avoid trash whiskeys in this room. Okay, I Reserve. Maybe that. That's some trash. I don't know what else, man. Matt says, blind tiger thick with anything. Adam, that's not a fair comparison because the Frey Ranch is so high proof, you know? At least this single barrel is. Jack Daniel's bonded, says Horses and Bourbon. Nice, man. Jason's going to the Junkies meetup. That's awesome. Yeah, Sarah and I will be there hanging out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hang on. Give me like 30 seconds to turn around and like figure out what the last pour is going to be. One sec. You know, Daniel says he saw people calling Hidden Barn the Malort of Kentucky. I don't agree with that. See, I like that craft whiskey profile, and, you know, a lot of people are going to say, like, Jason gave a pretty favorable review to Hidden Barn with caveats of, like, this may not be for you. I feel like I did the same thing, although I wasn't as explicitly saying it may not be for you, but I should have said that more clearly. And others have God, I can't speak, have said the same thing. Before Hidden Barn ever came out, I have clearly identified that I like craft whiskey profiles with some grown funk. Driftless Glen, Spirits of French Lick, 291, sort of, you know, that's really funky. But like, I genuinely like Hidden Barn, and so people saying it's a Malort of Kentucky are either like fucking assholes and trolls, or they genuinely don't like the profile because they don't like it, or maybe they genuinely don't like it because it just has hype around it, or, you know, maybe it's the first time trying your craft whiskey. There's a lot of reasons they might not like it, but to call it the Malort of Kentucky, I think is a very silly designation. I don't know about that. Matt says, open that Desert Jewel. Dude, I would have to drink a little bit more to do that. Oh, I want to so bad, though. I hate that you put that in my head. Oh my God, Tim Evans, you've got to stop this shit. You got to stop this right now. You cut this shit out. Sam 15 and Calumet 15 says Horses. I can already tell you Sam 15 wins that. Both my batches are going to win that. Matt, stop it. Stop it. Oh my God. I mean, I'll do it, but it's going to take more pressure. My thought was to end with this Weller 12 from, I think this is a 2013. I think this is a 2013, and I haven't had it in a long time. I used to be really hot on these old Weller 12s. Yeah, this is a great comment for Bubble Bath Bourbon. There's a ton of borderline undrinkable craft whiskey that's young as F. But also the idea that whiskey is garbage unless it's 6 years old and tastes like every other whiskey from Kentucky needs to die. I agree with both of those statements. Mr. Lopez says, thankfully my palate has matured and I can actually enjoy many whiskeys now. I'm still not at the level where I can pinpoint all the flavors, but hopefully I get there soon. In my opinion, the process to get to where you can like truly pinpoint flavors, not just general. Like some people will taste a whiskey and smell it and say like, oh, this is really sweet up front, and you get a little spice in the mid palate, and the finish goes on for a long time. Like that's fine. If that's what you can identify in whiskey, that's a really good place to be. To identify sweet and spice in certain moments and how long the finish is, possibly some savory notes or whatever, some salinity, whatever. But to identify specific flavor notes and to go through like really in detail the nose with, let's say, 8 notes and the palate with 3 notes up front. Talk about the front of the palate, talk about the mid palate, how it develops. That's a really long process. You can expedite it, but to expedite that process requires you to drink a shitload of whiskey for a very concentrated period of time, and it's not good. So, it's okay that you're not at that level, and that level is still a very subjective thing for so many people. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't know. Jason opened his Desert Jewel. Motherfucker. Oh my God. Oh. I can't. Look, guys. Bubble Bath is pressuring Jason to bring it to the bottle share. All right. See, Wigmaster, I think. Where is it at? Matt says, I drank all of the Desert Jewel except for the 2 ounces I sent to you, Cam. I think it was only 1 ounce, Matt. It might have been 2, but I feel like it was only 1. But maybe it was 2. I think Johnny Walker Black is pretty drinkable, but you've just gotta accept peated whiskey. This is a good comment from Robotic. Let me pour some of this real quick. Bottom line, training a palate is work, and no one should treat such an enjoyable pastime as work unless you're that gangster like these guys. I don't know if it's gangster, more just irresponsible, but it's an enjoyable pastime, and I think for somebody who's invested in it, who is not trying to put out content or anything else of the sort, like, be happy with the progress you make, because you're spending a lot of money, you're sacrificing your body, you know, literally by drinking this stuff. And do that over a period of time that is more responsible than me slamming 9 whiskeys a night for a whole year. You know, like, that's not responsible. And I'll admit that. I was going through a little something when all of my work as a touring percussionist dried up in like 2 days. So, like, there were a lot of factors that played into it for me of why I got into it, but I'm glad I developed that skill. But if I could do it again, would I do it in the same way? Like, absolutely not. No. So, yeah, Matt, I am with you on this, man. It is a little expensive, pretty expensive for what it is. If that bottle was $80 or $90, I am all over that. Like stink on shit. Let's see what this says. Yeah, Jason talking to Tim about some bunkered stuff. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of stuff bunkered right now that I'm trading away and selling away locally to make room for other stuff, because like I have so much whiskey, and Jason, you can probably attest to this, and Matt, you can probably attest to this. Like, I have so much whiskey at this point. There's no reason to keep 600 bottles, because like I have enough whiskey and I've calculated it for the next 10 years of my life. And I want to know what those years taste like over the next 10 years. I don't want to just drink what I have and never buy another bottle. So, like, I have decided I'm only going to bunker the shit that is unbelievably excellent that I know I have to have another taste of in the future. And make that a special open. Like, don't bunker 3 bottles of something unless it's God's gift to Earth. But if it's like a run of 4 Roses and it's a single barrel that I love, I don't need to have 5 of them. Like, I just need to have 1 extra. And when I open that 1 extra in 3 years, that's going to be a special moment. It's not about the review. It's not about hype. It's just about me loving that whiskey. And it's okay for it to be finite. It's been hard to accept that. But I'm going to start, clearing out this bunker and making way for more expensive stuff that I feel like is more worthwhile. Like Turkey Dusties. Jason loves Turkey Dusties. I've never had one, but for me, like Granddad Dusties, that's it. That's my sweet spot. Chateau de la Baude is my sweet spot. That kind of stuff. That's a great comment, Jason. Yeah, Matt, I'm with you, man. Woodford Barrel Proof kills 1920. Easy. All right, I'm gonna have a sip of this 2013 Weller 12. One of my favorite bottles. It has a special place in my heart. It's the first Dusty I ever had. Was a raised wheat Weller 12. So, for better or worse, these are unicorns for me. Horses and bourbon and Jason. That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Guys, I've been on for 3 hours and 40 minutes. Sorry. And thank you for being here. What are we even doing? It's Thursday. It's not even Friday. Yeah, Daniel, like, my bunker, like the secondary value in my bunker is what I've been thinking about. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it, it's probably like 15,000. And it depends on who you are. Is $15,000 a lot of money or not? Like, for me, that's not a small amount of money. 15 grand, And I ask myself, do you need all of these bottles, or could you consolidate 30 of them into 3 bottles? Like, I would love to have a King of Kentucky in my bunker, another Granddad 114, shit like that. And that's going to do me better than drinking another Burai, Elijah Craig, A119, whatever. It's more important to me to have these quality bottles, right? So, I don't know. I can't believe I put that on the screen, but I have to leave it now. Matt, if you start horsecock bourbon, I am an early investor. I will sell my whole bunker and just invest in horsecock. Oh, I can't. Bubble bath. I'm not going to put that up on the screen. Audio Junkie, good night to you, man. Brian, that funk might be lead, so just be careful, Oh my God, Matt. Oh my God. Matt, the stopper will be epic. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God, Matt. All right, Robotic, go crack open batch 69. Is it batch 69 of Horsecock with the 10-inch stopper? Oh my God. I can't. I'm too drunk to deal with this. Unlimited marketing potential, says Tim Evans. Guys, if anybody's watching the replay and you're 3 hours and 42 minutes into this, you're fucking psychotic. Also, just read the live chat and you'll understand what's going on. Oh my God. All right. I think it's time to end the night. I think it's time to end this night. One Mocast and Horses and Bourbon are the winners of the giveaway, which happened like an hour and 45 minutes ago. Oh, God, I'm too drunk to do this anymore. This has been a lot of fun. For the 33 of you left, I don't even understand how you're here or why you're here, but it's fucking awesome. I'm swearing a little more because I'm a little more drunk. And I'm going to finish this Weller 12 pour from 2013. But the winners tonight get an awesome flight of things I've tasted this evening. I don't know if I can include this Weller 12 in that mix. I didn't plan on drinking this tonight. We'll see. But, I'll give you guys the things that I tasted officially on the live stream, plus 2 other epic pours or something like that. So I forgot, Tim, that we're still playing the jazz music. I didn't change over the soundtrack. Tom Snyder, thank you for being here, man. And thank you for all of you guys. Super chats, hanging out, just participating, everything. I can't say enough about it, especially at this random late night live stream that I did tonight. I love you guys, and I can't wait to meet so many of you at the Bourbon Junkies meetup next month. Jesus, I'm drunk. Next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, cheers, guys. I'm going to kill this Weller 12. I will see you soon, and I promise I'm going to get some reviews out in the next couple of days. I freaking promise. All right. Cheers, guys. I'll see you soon.